I am great. It is so good to have you here. Kristian Montalvan. Did I do that right?
Yeah,
It's
correct.
great to have you. Now, Jordan was supposed to be here.
Yeah, he was.
We want to send our thoughts and prayers out to him and his father. It sounds like he's going to be okay.
Should be good.
Yeah,
Should be good.
yeah. But Jordan had a little emergency, so I think he's good. Everything's going to be okay, but he was unable to make it. So we've got Kristian from Daiwa. And you just finished up the PCS show. How was it?
That was a great show. Ton of people coming through. You know, I mean, we were showing everything that we had, our reel booth that we had with 2 layers of all the reels that we had. So it was great.
I know.
Great time, time meeting everyone that was there.
And you're a great guy to be back there because not only are you knowledgeable about the product, but you're a people person.
Yeah.
And that's really important.
Yeah, definitely it is.
Yeah.
I mean, it definitely helps that I do it at work too, over the phone, but it's much easier in person.
Yeah, it is, right? Make a connection with people.
Exactly.
Exactly. So people that have questions about Daiwa products tonight is the night to do it. You're going to be introducing an electric reel that you're really excited about.
Really excited about to use this year, especially for the new regulations. I think it's going to definitely be a game changer.
You're talking about that deep water rockfish, right?
Deep water. I mean, going past 600, hitting that 700. I mean, even 1200s we were talking about in the office. So
You're right.
yeah, hopefully we can do that.
And I hear you want to catch some black cod, right?
Yes, black cod, sablefish. We'll figure out how to really target them this year.
Yeah, like I told you, and I will not divulge the guy's name, but he swears to me that just a few miles outside of here, he gets them every single time.
Yeah.
And I was telling Tom Brewer, he's an old captain, like he's 147 years old. Sorry, Tom. It's true. But Tom's like, really? I want to know where that is, so I'm excited about that.
Definitely,
All right.
Definitely.
Dan Smith says, or Travis says, hey, everyone. Travis, good to see you. Dan Smith, not fishing tomorrow, so we can stay up after 8 p.m. Hot coffee is ready, and we get to spend some time with the Friedman Adventure family. All good except for the wind. Dan, great to see you. It was good to see you and Kim at the show. Neko says, let's go, Kristian. You know a guy named Neko Salas?
It's one of my buddies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Is he excited to have you on here?
Oh, yeah.
Excited to have you on here.
It'll be fun.
Couple things that I want to talk about before we get going, and that's that I'm going to be at Bass Pro Shops this Saturday. I'll be there from 1 to 2:30. Actually, I'll be there probably about 11 in the morning. We're going to set up a table, and we're going to do 6 separate podcasts at Bass Pro Shops. You get to see my good friend Bob Miner, who runs that store. I always love going out there. Of course, it is such a great place. Daiwa's prominently featured at Bass Pro. So we've got that dynamic going on. And we'll do 6 separate saltwater podcasts. One will be with my son Philip. Patrick will also be there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And we'll have the coffee cups there, the Friedman Adventures coffee cups. If you become a Patreon member at Bass Pro Shops, you get a coffee cup and a big hug and a kiss from Kristian if he's there. Not me.
If I'm there.
Yeah. If you're not there, we're out of that, right? I pawned that off on Greg Brown from Opsin Fluorocarbon, and he didn't come through. He showed up. He wouldn't kiss anybody, though. He's a real schmuck. Not like Greg that just came in here, Obi Mako. All right, so I'll be out there. Looking forward to seeing you there. Then Day at the Docks next weekend. That's in San Diego. Looking forward to seeing you there. Then the Bard Hall Show at the Long Beach Convention Center. Can't wait for that one. Bart is back in the game. It's so great to see him back. Bill Varney is doing some surf fishing seminars. You guys are going to be there, right?
Yeah, Daiwa will be there. Definitely.
So it's going to be a great one. I just want to mention that to you. And tonight, I like to go to bed at about 8:30. 1, because I'm an old man. And 2, because I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. But tonight I will sacrifice, Kristian, for you and all of the Friedman Adventures viewers.
Let's do it.
Grunion run. No, I'm not talking about this. I got to stay up for these dumb grunion tonight.
Oh, yeah.
Because if the run is on, there's been several people who've been saying, hey, let me know. So I've got to go down there. In the friggin' cold. It's cold right now. Like sometimes in March, it's not that cold, but this is going to be a cold one. But I'll be out there. Can't wait to do it. Albert Pont says, hello, fellas. Great to see you guys. Albert, so great to have seen you and Crystal and the kids. I get my big hugs all the time. And I can't wait till after Bass Pro because we're going to come over and celebrate your son's 5th birthday. Looking forward to that. 540 Slingers, good evening, Phil and Kristian. Good to see you, Jeff. Dave Thompson, hello from the Antelope Valley. Man, we got a big audience building here.
Oh, yeah, definitely building.
I know. Dan Smith, great to see you at PCS. Phil, thank you for that big kiss. Love you, man. Did I give him a kiss? My wife is really getting dangerous. She's been dangerous her whole life. Scott Buchert. Look where he's coming from. Do you see that, Kristian?
Yeah.
Japan. Scott Buchert is in Japan. Scott, we love you. I don't care what Kristian says about you. Really don't. And Jamie Argent says, hello, Phil and everybody. And now I think we have a question. But, we got a couple questions. Before, though, I just want to look into that camera at Paul Burbank, who's a dear friend of mine. And Paul's going through a tough time right now. So, Paul, you got all my thoughts and prayers.
You got mine, too.
And Kristian also, who's a good kid, man. You're a kid to me. And
yeah, I get that, especially at work.
He's a good kid, and so Kristian and I and the whole Friedman Adventures family, we send you all our love. Paul Burbank, keep getting better. Same to you, Eddie Leland, who I saw at the show. That was great also. All right. Brandon, a.k.a. The Corpse. Kristian, are we getting albacore this year? What do you know about it? Right? As much as I do.
I mean, I know Washington gets them.
I got some damn badass silver and blue cedar plugs to use this year. You seen the daisy chain I rigged up, Phil? Yes. And he snagged a gunny sack, and then they fought it. Him and Chef Jason, these two guys, fought a gunny sack for a half hour in the stern. They snagged a gunny sack. Not sure about the albacore, Brandon, but I think we may get a rebite on the gunny sacks this year. That's entirely possible.
That we can make happen.
All right, what's a good reel for Wahoo? Scott Buchert wants to know.
Wahoo. I would definitely say 2-speed reel, Saltiga, 35-40, should have more than enough line capacity. Probably fit in like 300 yards, 65-pound braid at least. Braided fluorocarbon is what I normally do. I know some people do the mono, but me personally, I do straight braid, more sensitivity, more line capacity.
Yeah.
But definitely like a 35-40 lever drag is definitely going to be what you're going to want.
Saltiga has such an incredible drag system, don't they?
Hands down. I think the 35, if I remember right, has like around 40 pounds of like max drag.
Wow, and that's enough to pull you overboard almost, right?
Easy. If you have a big tuna on the end of that, you're going to be holding down for a while.
Yeah. Hey, Joe Wade says he's new to the show, looking forward to these podcasts. Joe and your family and whoever's sitting there with you, thanks, man. Really great to have you on board with us. Appreciate it very, very much. Jamie said Paul came home today, was good. I know, I talked to him, Jamie, so sending him all our best. Let's see. Stupid phone. Welcome to the channel, Joe. Glad you're here. All right, so what do we have here? Is there anything here you'd like to introduce our audience to?
I mean, we can introduce the slow pitch jigging.
Yeah, let's talk slow pitch. Slow pitch is really starting to catch on.
It is really starting to catch on. It has caught on over East Coast, mainly like the Florida guys. They love doing slow pitch.
Where did it originate? In Japan?
It originated in Japan.
Right.
Yeah, Japan, the eastern countries, it originated over there for essentially hitting areas that are really pressured. Some of those areas are really pressured when it comes to fishing, so it's not so easy to get them.
And so slow pitching is perfect for that kind of a situation?
Yeah, definitely perfect for that kind of situation. It essentially mimics a dead bait fish. So here's one of our Daiwa Saltiga SL jigs.
Yeah.
One of my go-tos. Caught my 10-pound rockfish last year.
10 pounds? What kind of rockfish? A vermilion?
It was a vermilion.
Oh, yeah. Nice. That's a nice one, dude.
Big one.
Wow.
Big one over at St. Nicholas Island. And, they vary in different sizes. This is a 160 gram. Rule of thumb generally is 1 gram per foot.
Oh, okay.
So this, you can probably hit 200, 250 on a good day without,
a lot of wind and current.
A lot of wind, current. Current's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to step up a little bit, like, a little bit bigger profile, 200 grams. These are great ones. Other ones a lot of people use also for tuna are these SK jigs.
Yes.
These SK jigs are, the money maker for not just rock fishing, but also for tuna fishing.
Yes.
You definitely have to rig it up a little bit differently to withstand the tuna, but definitely great jigs. And I've caught many, at least rockfish. I haven't caught a tuna on it yet.
Tuna bite them though.
Yeah, tuna will bite them.
I've seen it's been very effective on the bluefin trips I've been on.
Yeah, I know last year we couldn't even keep them in stock.
Is that right?
People were constantly calling us, trying to figure out where to get them at. And it mainly in the larger sizes, the 250s and the 300s is what really people wanted for the tuna. That way they can get down deep pretty quickly and get them to bite. It's just with these SK jigs, they have a flutter as they're going down that just makes them want to bite. That's the good thing about these jigs, is that it creates that type of reaction bite that you really want.
Yeah.
You know, versus a knife jig that's just kind of getting down there, but it doesn't really have action.
Right.
Yeah,
This is fishing all the way down, in other words, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And that quotient that you just gave is going to save my butt in the future immensely. A gram to a foot.
To a foot.
Yeah. So 200 grams, you want to fish at 200 feet of water. Now I sound like I know what I'm talking about, thanks to you. Yeah. Most of the time I don't know. Got to say one thing about our Friedman Adventure family. You know this guy Joe that just said he's new to the channel, and look at all these guys, man. They're all welcoming Joe to the family. So Joe, I'm right along with Dan Smith and everybody else. Slam and Sammy says, good evening, fellas. Does Daiwa make any lefty two-speed reels for that nighttime tuna?
Unfortunately, we do not make any left-hand two-speed reels. I don't know if they're planning on in the future. But as of the moment, we don't have any two speeds that are left-hand.
Okay, but if you do and you find out, you'll let me know. We can let Simon Sammy know. He's a southpaw, it sounds like.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay. So, and you guys also, it looks like you have some fluorocarbon here.
We do make two types of fluorocarbon. We have the standard J fluoro. This still come in a range from, I believe, 2 pound all the way up to 130 pound. So kind of got a lot of different ranges there. One of my recent favorite fluorocarbon is also made by us. It is the Fluoro Samurai, so J Fluoro Samurai. It comes in either a hidden concept, which is the green color that we have here, or just standard hidden, which would be like a clear fluorocarbon. Breaks at true strength though, so you do have to be careful because you're not going to have any wiggle room. Yeah, that is the biggest thing.
So the one that I'm holding up now does not break at true strength.
It's going to be a little bit more than what is
Let's say it's 20, it's going to break at 25.
Say 25
30,
or maybe a little bit less.
Yeah,
but it's not going to be true strength like this Samurai is.
Yeah.
I love it. I use it in saltwater. Only issue is we only have it going up to 25 pound.
Yeah.
So you don't have anything heavier, but hopefully that comes soon. But definitely one of my go-tos. It's what I used to catch my Dorado last year. The thumbnail right there.
Yes.
16-pound line is what I caught it on. Perfect. Had no issues.
Really?
Yeah.
And you got bit.
I got bit.
That's the important thing, right? Yeah.
So it's a different fluorocarbon. It actually feels a lot different than standard fluorocarbon. It's a lot, like pliable, softer.
Yeah.
Wow.
What pound is this?
This is 16.
Wow.
Yeah, super thin.
Yeah.
One of my favorites.
I mean, it looks like 8 pound or something.
Yeah, it's very, very thin. And so that's one of my go-tos because, I mean, when, the bite is tough, you do have to sometimes go down lower. I mean, I know a few people last year had to go down to 15 pound to get the bluefin to bite. But the bluefin were like 80, 90 pounds. So
I know.
They weren't going to get them in, but they just wanted to get a bite.
I know. It's always that dilemma because you can't catch them unless you hook them.
Yeah.
And sometimes they don't want to bite the heavy. So, yeah, I remember Pat Conklin, who ran boats here for many, many years, and Pat was just out on this Legends trip, and I was a deckhand on the Searcher. I was young.
Oh, okay.
And we were out of San Diego, and he had an 8-ounce torpedo sinker, 60-pound test, and he was fishing albacore that way. And I go, what do you do? And he goes, I just wait for him to yell hookup. I got a bait pinned on already, and I drop it, and it works. And I go, yeah, but what if they don't bite the 60? And he goes, then I don't catch them. And he's back. He hooked up 24/7, man. He was just going crazy on them. All right. Do we have somebody interrupting our podcast?
I think so.
Hello? No, he left.
All
right. You never know who's going to walk in the door here, Kristian. That's what makes it so exciting. Scott even says, welcome, Joe. And Scott is going to a tackle shop in Japan. Is there anything you want him to pick up for you? Or can you give him any advice, like what to look for?
That's tempting. I mean, they have a ton of amazing JDM lures. I mean, they have tons of different slow pitch lures. They have trout lures out there. Their reels, some of the reels out there. I mean, SLP Works is out there, and they only work on reels there. Yeah. They don't actually ship to
so he
US.
can pick all that stuff up.
So he could pick up stuff over there.
And would you advise him to do so? Why not, right?
Yeah, I might as well.
Yeah,
Bring them over here, have some stuff that some people don't have over here.
So they must be heavy duty on the slow pitch jigs.
Oh
there,
yeah,
right?
hands down.
Yeah.
Definitely. Like, I mean, Daiwa, Japan is pretty prominent over there. We have people that go out there a lot or come over here and visit us. I mean, they have slow pitching originated over there. I
Yeah.
mean, they all these jigs were designed over there.
Oh,
And
okay.
They we use them here.
I'm getting a message from Greg Johnson from Daiwa. Yes, Greg? Yeah. Scott, Greg says pick Phil Friedman up $1,000 worth of tackle or you can't go on any more of his charters. Thank you, Greg. Okay, so you got it, Scott. You know what to do over there. All right, so that should be cool. Yeah, I mean, I would love doing that. All right, they make some insane fluorophil. I get bit on the yellow they got. You have yellow?
This is one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
There you go. It has a yellow band around it when you open the case. It's freaking nuts.
Yeah.
So there's a fan.
Yeah, definitely. It's great fluorocarbon. It's what I've been using for years, even before I worked at Daiwa.
Yeah. Yeah. The corpse, man. He's all over it. All right. Charles Zimmer. Chuck, I haven't seen you since our lobster trip. I miss you so much. My drone man. He's a great guy. You got to meet him sometime. You got to go fishing with him.
Yeah,
the
we
Freeman
gotta go.
Adventures crew. Yeah. Or come down and surf fish or whatever.
Definitely.
Grunion hunting tonight. Who knows? No, it's too
Maybe.
cold.
We'll see. It is a little cold.
Might be able to dog you into it. Did the bluefin bite the 60? I don't know about. Did they bite the 60-pound sinker rig? Yeah, sometimes,
sure.
right?
I wasn't out there.
I think so. Not all the time, but yeah, I think so. But I was making reference, and I know you're talking about the bluefin, but Conklin was fishing albacore that way on the slide. Somebody else hook up, and then Pat would drop, and he'd hook up every single time. It was funny because everybody else was fishing with a small rubber core and 25-pound, and Pat was just getting ripped. So it was good stuff. Are you giving us plenty of SK jigs? We have been having issues finding those.
Yeah.
He's chewing you out now.
I know, right?
Yeah, the corpse is on you, man.
We should be getting them in. I think.
Do you have them now?
We do have them in stock, depending on the colors. But I think Melton's Tackle still has them in stock. I think I saw them at Turner's as well.
Yeah.
They should be having them in stock. And then check out Young's Tackle here in Bellflower.
Yeah, is that a good store?
Great store. I've been going to him for years. Back when he used to be in his La Palma location, now he moved over to Bellflower, bigger location. I love it. I actually helped him move over there too. So
nice.
It was nice being able to get everything laid out.
We're like cross streets that are near there. Young's Fishing Tackle.
Bellflower and Flower, if I remember right.
Okay.
It's right there, like in downtown Bellflower, that area. It's close to the name of the place, Hambones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there any place that Scott Buchert, he's in Japan, might recognize? Is there a massage parlor near there or anything? Because that's the reference Scott would use.
Never been over there before, so I don't know.
Okay. Scott, sorry, we can't.
That would have been a good question for Jordan.
Like a Catholic church, Scott would never know anything about it, but a massage parlor, he'd be right there. All right. Well, not giving us, merely asking if we were getting a shipment before summer for bluefin, and you said you're doing your best to do that, right?
Yeah. No, that should definitely be happening. I mean, they're going out daily, I would say, when we're getting them in, so that shouldn't be an issue. We should have more, unless people buy them all out, then that's. If we can't keep up with the demand, I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Scott Buchert, by the way, decks on several boats. He was on the Ranger 85 for quite some time, and then he was on the Mission Bell. He decks for Bill Wilkerson on the Malahini, might work on the Horizon.
Oh, all right.
So he's answering Chuck and saying, yeah, they did bite the 60-pound with the sinker rig, so that's good. All right, a lot of other people saying hi. Steve Bermudez got to the conversation late. Can you introduce your guest again? No, I'm not doing that again. Go back and watch it from the beginning, Steve, you lazy bum. Yes, of course. We have Kristian Montalvan from Daiwa with us tonight. Jordan was supposed to be here this evening. His father had some symptoms, went to the hospital. Sounds like he's good. I've been checking with Jordan. And once again, all of us send our thoughts and prayers. I think everything's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Sounds like it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
We'll keep in contact with them.
Yes. So, Steve, if you have any Daiwa questions or anything else, by the way, Steve Bermudez, I got to thank you. Steve Bermudez came over to me at the PCS show and he goes, hey, how tall is Brian Shaw? Is he like really tall? And I go, no, he's like 6'4". He's not like Shaq or, one of those guys. And he goes, I think he's here. And I go, dude, I haven't seen Brian since I went to China for 3 years. And Brian and I took him on his first Mexico trip. Mm-hmm. We fished in Playa del Carmen. We fished in Palmas de Cortez. We did all kinds of crazy stuff. He said to me one night in Playa del Carmen, he goes, "Do you want to really hear what happened with Shaq and Kobe?" I'm like, hell yeah. We were drinking tequila back in my drunken days. I've been sober for a while. And oh my God, that was a fun evening. And then the next morning, Brian's late for the TV shoot that we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
I get blamed for it. I said, well, he's an adult. You know, why are you blaming me?
Yeah, exactly.
But anyway, so I got to see Brian, give him a big hug, and it was great. So thank you, Steve, for facilitating that. I deeply, deeply appreciate it. All right, Scott, look for a Daiwa quick shift reel handle in the Japanese tackle shops. What is that? Do you know what that is?
That I'm not too sure about.
Jeff, maybe you could elaborate on that. All right, this gentleman is at Current Jam. Daiwa has amazing customer support. I am now forever a fan due to it. I've heard that. I'm not just saying because you guys are sponsors of ours.
Yeah.
I've heard that time and time again. I forget who it was, but somebody said, I'm at Daiwa right now, and they're, it was Daryl Spivey. The guy
I
named
remember
Daryl.
him. Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm the one that was helping him out.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he sent me a message right then. Did he mention me to you?
Yeah,
or?
he did.
Oh, okay. And then you threw him out, right?
Yeah, he walked out on his own. But yeah, no, I remember him. Yeah, definitely helped him out, got him all taken care of. I know he needs to come back so we can find another part for him.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah.
I definitely remember.
He was raving about it. So that was you.
Yeah, that was me.
Small world.
Yeah, definitely.
Amazing,
definitely.
man. That's awesome. All right. What size Saltist MQ spinning would you recommend for tuna?
Saltus MQ 20,000. You'll have the line capacity, and you will have 44 pounds of drag. For the 20,000 is gonna probably be what you're gonna want to have the drag, because I mean some of these tuna, I mean you can get schoolie tuna on the smaller sizes, but you don't know what you're hooking. I mean last year you had a mix of like 20, 30 pounders with like 90s and 100s, so you don't know, like if especially you're gonna be throwing a popper, you don't know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So just that way you're not undergunned. I definitely recommend that 20,000 for sure.
Rick Slater, Daiwa or Shimano, accurate or Penn, Chinese, question mark. I don't know about the Chinese part.
Yeah.
But, so you're obviously
yeah,
going to say
I'm
Daiwa.
obviously going to say Daiwa.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a little biased, but I
Yes.
mean, I love their products. They're great products. You know, our customer service and service center is definitely going to be able to help you guys out if anything.
The stuff is quality, and the affordability part of
Yeah.
it is so great. Like I fished that Daiwa Fuego in the surf. It's $100.
Yeah.
And
$100
it's never let me down with the mag seal. You know, it's just a remarkable lure. Ted Havel. I agree with Ted 100%. Now, Ted went to Bishop Montgomery High School, Kristian. I was his teacher.
Oh, wow.
And after a few years of therapy, he's okay. You know, it took a little while.
Yeah.
Man, but he's okay. He's got a great idea. We want a Friedman Adventures and Daiwa hoodie. Yes, now we'll talk to Greg about that.
We'll
Yeah,
talk to Greg
either
about
that or if you can hand me that marker over there, I can always write Friedman Adventures on here. Then we got one. Ted, I love it. Charles Zimmer, does Daiwa make different jigs for different countries, or are they the same? That is an excellent question.
Excellent question. Definitely different. We do have like SL jigs that are going to be different coloration in Japan versus here. There is different style jigs all over the world. You know, Daiwa Australia has some. I think there's Daiwa New Zealand. I think there's a Daiwa Israel as well. Then it's just their fisheries are all going to be different.
Different,
You know?
so they have different jigs.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I remember when I was living in China, this is probably not a good analogy, but I'm going to say it anyway. Like, I would always go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and Burger King and see what was different on the menu. Some of it was the same, but man, they always had some crazy thing. And when my son Philip was over there, he goes, he went and ordered something at Burger King, then he comes back and I was doing something, then he goes, Dad, this is the best freaking burger. It's got shrimp on it. It's so good.
That's a
it's like,
trip.
oh wow, man,
Right.
that does look good.
Yeah.
Brandon, my friend Brandon says, I still remember you and Brian shot with that epic sea bass trip you had with 976 tuna. Phil, you're getting me jealous. I watched old videos. I haven't caught one yet. So Bisha went out on a trip with us, Kristian, and he got a 50-something pounder.
Really?
Yeah, it was just such a memory. He is such a nice guy. He really, really is. Jamie Argent, all my stuff is Daiwa. Daryl is an awesome guy. So Jamie, another great guy here. We haven't paid any of these people to say this, have we?
No,
Maybe
not
a
yet.
few.
No.
No. This is
Maybe
all
under the table.
Yeah, exactly. Man, the questions are pouring in. Lots of people watching this. So, Kristian, I'm loving having you here so far. You're a fountain of information, and I appreciate you coming. You know, we met before, but we connected again at the show.
PCS, yeah.
Yeah, you're such a good guy that it's great to have you here. Ted Havel, love the old videos. So I've been running shorts lately of stuff that Bob Alvarez, a good friend of mine, and I shot 30 years ago.
Oh, yeah, I did see a few of those.
Did you see it? Yeah. So people are loving that retro kind of, to see the gear that people were using then. I got to tell you, people like, a lot of people say, you're the voice. You bring such enthusiasm. You know, I love some of those videos. I absolutely cringe listening to myself. It's so freaking over the top that now I think I've perfected the voiceover thing a little bit better.
Yeah.
But
it takes
my
time.
God.
It takes time. I mean,
but people love it.
You got to start somewhere.
I mean, I'll say this. It was really organic. I get excited when the fish are biting.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. The quick shift allows you to lengthen or shorten the reel handle while it's still attached to the reel. Oh, that's great.
Oh, that's interesting.
Ted Havel says, Phil is old. What a... I'm going to hit you with a Friedman Adventures coffee cup, Ted. How do you like that? Huh? MJM, that's Mark. Happy Tuesday. Phil, what's a good starter Daiwa reel for offshore yellowtail and bluefin tuna, 20 to 45 pound foamers or bruisers? I'm interested in a go-to all-around reel for 2 species.
20 to 40 pound.
45. Don't tell me we've got something here. Mark, here we go.
So this would be my go-to. It is a Daiwa Proteus. Well, the rod is. The reel is a Daiwa Saltiga 35H. I might have to just take it off. Let's see. But this will have plenty of drag that you're going to need to get this fish. Looking at about 25 pounds of max drag. And I have this spooled up with a 65 pound braid all the way up. Holds 300 yards. Will be plenty of line capacity that you're going to need for these, 20 to 45 pounders. I mean, honestly, this setup that I have here, you can catch a 120-pound bluefin, no problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
It'll definitely be able to do the job. But I would recommend it. I think these are about like $450. This Proteus heavy is what I have. 55 to 100 pound is what it's rated for. Is about $200. Definitely a good.
That rod is 200.
Yeah, this.
That's a great buy. That's a great buy.
Yeah. For the price, you can't really beat it.
No.
I mean, it'll do the job. I mean, I've used it for tuna to rock fishing. It'll be a versatile rod, definitely for you.
Excellent. That sounds good. I'm so happy you brought this up to show everybody.
That way it makes it a lot easier. That way you can really show off the products and show them what they're going to be getting. I mean, these rods have a fast action on it, so you're going to be able to fill that bite instantly. Be able to get that hook set, no problem.
All right, Ted Havel says, but thanks for all the fish. I'm not sure if he's referring to the videos or the fish that he got on the Relentless, but he was the guy that said I was old, so now he's trying to throw in a nice comment. It's not working.
Yeah, not yet.
Not even close. Emilio Escobar. Hey, Phil, how's it going? I have the Saltist MQ18 for popping and stick baits for bluefins with the Proteus Wind Series. Yeah. Definitely love it. Emilio, thanks for sharing that. You like that rig?
Oh, yeah. Great rig for popping. I mean, the Proteus Wind is going to be the same makeup as this. It just has a different grip. I'm assuming you have the blue one, or unless you have the camo one, which would be, which would be this one right here.
Yeah.
We have multiple different winds right now at the moment.
Yes.
So, but those are great rods. I mean, Proteus is what I typically use for all my saltwater fishing, on the boats at least. Not really inshore.
Yeah. Hey, everybody, thank you so much for the great questions. We've got a long way to go tonight. Tony said he'll throw us out after 8 o'clock, but we're going right till 8 at least. And remember, you can become a Patreon member. Just go to Patreon and go to Friedman Adventures. For as little as $5 a month, we can provide more and more content for you, and that's what we aim to do. This is going to be an incredible year. We're going to have so much content that it is going to get crazy. Become a Patreon member today. All right, Joe is new to the show, and he has a question. I'm looking forward to going on some of these charters for tuna. Caught my first bluefin out of Santa Cruz last October solo. I'm all in. So he's hooked up. I mean, he's got the bug. I can tell. Yeah. gearing
Definitely.
up as we speak and liking the intel. Joe, thank you so much, my friend. You know, one bluefin tuna like that, and you're friggin' hooked,
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah. I mean, I haven't landed one yet. I have hooked them, got them to the boat, but I'm still hooked. I mean, it's not going to change until I
You're
actually
probably
go.
hooked more, right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
now you really got to get one,
Yeah,
right?
I have to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have not caught one of these big fish because pretty much every trip I go on now, I'm videotaping.
Yeah.
At some point in time in the future, hopefully we'll have somebody to do that. But right now it's me.
Yeah.
And, you know, I would love to I get my fishing in, surf fishing down there. I love frickin' surf fishing.
Yeah.
Man, I go out and do the morning briefing every morning. And I just look at that ocean and I'm like, oh, man, that looks ripe.
Yeah.
And so if we get any grunion tonight, we'll see, man. You know, that could kick things into gear.
Some halibut can be coming in, you know.
Yes.
Throw those lucky crafts.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. All right, current jam, is it possible to purchase non-US gear from the States?
It is. There's a few websites that you can order from. There's Asian Portal Fishing. I think there's Digitaka is another one. Japan Tackle. Those are probably the three more prominent ones that I know of that you can purchase. Not just Daiwa, but anything that they have over there to bring over here. Shipping is a little expensive, especially if you get into rods and reels. For lures and stuff, it's typically like $22 around there, give or take. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of options, and those are just the ones that I know of. I know there's, you know, stuff from like the UK. You know, they have a lot of carp fishing over there.
Yes.
I get a lot of questions in
They're
regards to
really
that.
crazy about carp
Yeah,
fishing.
love carp fishing
Yeah,
over there.
Ireland also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not something I know about. I do speak with a lot of customers who, you know, they order like a Black Widow rod, which is a specific rod for carp fishing. We don't sell it here in the US. It is a UK model.
Yeah.
But you can order it on Amazon. So also check out Amazon as well. Sometimes they have stuff, but just make sure it is a legit seller.
Yeah, right.
That's the only downside.
You got to be careful.
Yeah,
All
definitely.
right. Brandon says, hit the like button. So Kristian doesn't have to go home to his wife tonight and say, we only had 4 likes. I don't know what happened. Phil said I can't come back again. Thanks, Brandon. Hit that like button, everybody. We would deeply appreciate that. Jamie Arjun, I have a Saltus 40H with 65 braid Proteus rod, 8 foot 810 Proteus for my Lexa 400
Got that same
and
setup.
spinning Proteus as well as Eliminator 500. Man, Jamie's all over it.
He's all over the
Yeah.
Daiwa.
Is he on the right track? Is
Oh,
that all good
definitely,
stuff?
Definitely. 8'10" Proteus with the Lexa 400. I use that setup. I did not bring it because it is a very large setup to bring.
Yeah.
But it's a great setup. I've used it for, I mean, I have a 40 to 80, which will pretty decently do well for schoolie tuna. I would say, like, 20 to 50 pound range.
Yeah.
I've used it for rockfish. I've used it for whitefish. I mean, it's a great setup.
Mark says he's got a Proteus, amazing backbone and great sensitivity for bottom fishing, big reds by the Coronado
Coronados,
Islands.
yeah.
Thank you. He's saying to Daiwa, not to
Yeah.
me. So that's
Definitely,
great.
yeah.
I mean, this kind of feedback, you got to be loving this.
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, it's what I've been using, so that's why, I trust our product. I have put it to the test. Some of us, really put it to the test to make sure that it'll withstand all sorts of, beating up, I guess you could say.
Right, right.
And I mean, so far I haven't had an issue with mine. I mean, they're all great rods. For the price, you really can't beat it.
I know.
And then, with most Proteuses, you have at least a 5-year warranty too. So you really can't go wrong with that.
All right. Ted Havel says, make sure to give us close-ups of the gear and recap of the models at the end. I have some Amazon credits I want to spend. All right. So we'll have to be really careful
I got
about
one reel here.
Yeah, for sure. The Daiwa Saltiga, says Jeff, 35 or old school 30T size are great reels, especially for throwing surface irons. He's from the 540 Slingers Club, so they're fishing long rods, love to fish the jigs. Jeff, you've got an event coming up that you need to remind me about so I can remind everybody out there listening tonight. We got a lot of people listening, so remind me about that. But what do you think about that? Good stuff?
Yeah, definitely good stuff. I mean, that's what this is right here. This is a 35. I mean, the free spool on this is pretty good. I mean, I don't know if you guys can see it moving. The lever drag ones, honestly, you can use the lever drag 2 speeds. They're just as good. So with the new lever drags that we have out, they have a dual bearing system.
Yes.
So there's a bearing on both sides of the spool instead of one side like it used to be. So we did that. That way you can have that incredible free spool and not have to sacrifice going down to a star drag versus a lever drag.
Okay, bitchin'.
Yeah, it's a really, really nice. We were showcasing that a lot this past weekend at
Yes.
PCS to really show like, hey, what you want to do on a, star drag, you can still do on a lever drag.
Yeah.
No problem.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's good
Great.
stuff.
Great.
Greg Bates says, yeah, we've got to get these Daiwa Friedman Adventures hoodies going. When can we get them? Greg, thank you so much. Say hi to Helen for me, Greg. It's a friend of his. Nice lady. Travis Wright, hey, Phil, do you have the date for the Malahini trip yet? I don't, Travis. I'm waiting for Bill. I'm going to go down and see Bill right before Day at the Docks. Bill Wilkerson owns the Malahini. Just bought the Horizon. Super good guy. Great guy. We're going to do a podcast. So thank you, Travis. I'm going to send him a note, try to firm that up, because we're going to have not only a Malahini trip, but we're going to have a 2-day trip on the Horizon. And man, I'll tell you, the accommodations on that rig look beautiful. So I'll have both of those for you really, really soon. Anybody else out there who wants our charter schedule, just send me a text to 657-227-6459. Just put in the subject bar, you want the charter schedule, and I will get that out to you, my friends. Emilio Escobar, what's coming new on the Harrier X Jigging Series rods?
To be fair, I haven't heard of much in regards to the Harrier X. I mean, they're great rods, but I don't know if they're going to be updating them or not. I know it has been some time. I do have a Harrier here, but it's a slow pitch jigging rod, which would be this one here. But this is meant for slow pitch. It is a very nice parabolic rod for, all these jigs here.
Yes.
This one is rated for, I believe, 400 grams.
Is it?
Yeah, this one's rated
Man,
for
it doesn't look like it would be.
super light.
Yeah, oh my God.
I have it paired with the Lexa 400.
Yes. God, that is light
very
as a
light.
feather.
Yeah. It's almost like a very light bass rod. I mean,
It really
this
is.
will bend all the way, and I'm barely putting any pressure on it. So this is meant for giving the action that you want to these jigs when they're down there.
So that would work perfectly. Yeah.
Absolutely perfectly. I mean, you can use up to a 400 gram jig on this. So, I mean, you can fish minimum, maximum like 400 feet, depending on conditions. But again, that is the Harrier slow pitch. I think retail on that's like $200. So not too bad to get into, the whole slow pitch series versus our Saltiga series, which that's even lighter than that rod, if you can believe that.
Yes.
But those are running like $5.99.
Wow.
Yeah.
Comments are starting to go off, so I have to run over there and get them. But I think I memorized them. Ted Havel said, are you redoing the Friedman Adventures website? Yes. How did you know? Within a few weeks, all brand new website. It should be really, really cool. So
excited for that.
That's coming, everybody. Friedman Adventures website is being completely updated. Daiwa Patreon only specials. Oh yeah. Rick Slater, Phil, are you planning a sea bass charter? We will be there. What Daiwa setup is best for white sea bass? Yes.
Sea bass.
But let me just tell you that the end of May, we are on the Apollo, which is here, stateroom accommodations and some of those beautiful, beautiful boat 2-day trip. And if you want that information, just send me to that number. I would love to have you on board. Sea bass fishing.
Sea bass fishing. To be fair, I haven't done much of that.
So like a 25 to 40 pound outfit is what I would say.
Yeah. I mean, if you want, I do have one that's similar to that. I mean, it'll definitely have the power that you're going to need. I mean, you can always stick with the Proteus that I have here. So I have a Proteus here that is going to be a medium heavy.
Yeah.
40 to 80 pound braid. Super light. It'll have that, tip action that you're going to want as well. Now, I do have a budget one that isn't necessarily for saltwater, but I use it in saltwater.
It's a freshwater rod?
This is a freshwater swim bait rod. So
yeah.
This is our DX swim bait rod.
Looks heavy, like it's kind of a heavier rod.
It is definitely a heavy rod. This is rated from 20 to 50 pound.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
But for the price, it's going to have the cork, which you don't really want to use in saltwater that much, but it's a pretty light rod. This retails at $100.
It does?
This rod alone it's just $100, nothing too crazy. It'll have double-footed guides all the way up to the tip guide of it. For $100, you can't really beat that price, and the fact that I use it for You can use it for swim baits, in freshwater if you want to be doing that. I use it for rock fishing. It has more than enough power for you to, do those deep drops, 500-600 feet.
Yeah.
And I have it paired with a Daiwa Lexa 400. Great rod, or great rod and reel combo, honestly. But these are, not gonna lie, a little pricey at like a $389. But you're gonna have the power that you're gonna want. You're gonna have 28.7 pounds of drag, so this will have no issue bringing in that white sea bass.
That's nice.
Yeah,
that's nice.
And then there's a ton.
$100 for a rod. I mean,
yeah,
in today's day and age.
Exactly.
I mean, when I was a kid, buying rods, $100 for a good rod would not be out of the question.
Yeah.
That was 100,000 years ago. Don't laugh.
So I mean, with that, you really can't beat the price. I mean, you can go with a $100 DX swim bait rod that can do the job. Or you can go with the more saltwater, versatile, rod with the Proteuses.
Yeah.
They'll definitely be able to do the job as well.
Hey, Emilio, you might want to copy and paste that comment that just went by again. I'm sorry about that, but I'm trying to keep up here. I don't want to run over there. I want to stay here with Kristian so he doesn't get upset. Hit that like button, everybody. Jamie says he hopes he can make Jeff's event, the iron throwing event, and he also wants to make our trip on the horizon with Captain Bill. Sal Garcia. Sal, welcome to the show. My best to you and your family. Fished with Kristian and Jordan on the Enterprise last year. That was your Dorado trip.
That was the Dorado trip.
That was a good one. For Mahi, awesome. Guys taught me so much and definitely sold me on the Lexa 400 TW. Any specials for the Bart Hall show? You guys going to have specials?
I'm assuming we are. We did have specials for PCS. I don't know what the specials are going to be.
But there'll be something going on.
More likely they're going to have something going on.
Yeah.
They haven't told me yet, so I don't have that information yet.
Well, I mean, it's at the end of the month, so maybe they're working on some cool deals. I'm sure
definitely.
they are. That's great. And you want to talk about that Enterprise trip just a little bit?
So that was a fun trip. I mean, I highly recommend the Enterprise out of Pure Point Landing. Love the guys over there, all the deckhand, the cooks, the captains.
Andy runs the boat.
Yeah. Great captain. So that day, I'm not gonna lie, was a tough day. It took us a while to go out there, find them.
That happens that happens to everybody.
It's called fishing. It's not catching.
Right.
So I mean, great time out there. We finally got to them around 2 p.m. We left at 6 in the morning, and we ended up staying out there longer because the bite was that good.
Yeah.
They were perfectly fine with it. They wanted to get us on fish.
Sure.
Found them. Great trip. It was tough to get them to bite, which is why I went down to the 16-pound fluorocarbon to get a bite.
Yeah.
And worked perfectly.
Were you getting a bite when other people were not? I presume fishing heavier line and maybe not fluorocarbon.
Sometimes the heavy line were getting bit, but it took you a while to get them. I mean, you had to really toss it out there, and you kind of had to work the bait, like kind of almost like give them a little life, because the water was very hot that day. So the bait weren't lasting that long.
Yeah.
So that was another issue. Is like we had to stay in warm water.
It was really tough last year because that water gets hot and the bait does not survive. Yeah.
So it was a tough time, but I mean, that's why, you have to figure it out. You can't just stick to one thing, Like say you're not getting bit for 20, 30 minutes, and someone else is getting bit. Maybe you have to go down,
You got to try something
go
different.
down to a couple, couple pounds of line. Maybe you're at 30, go down to 25, or maybe go down to 20.
Right.
Figure out what they're gonna not be skittish about.
That's what makes it so much fun, the mystery of it all, right? Being a
Exactly.
detective and trying to unravel what it is that'll make them bite. Good stuff. All right, the 540 Slingers Club will be having a casting and coffee meetup March the 18th at 8 a.m. at Long Beach Marine Stadium near the Lifeguard Museum. Everybody is welcome. I'll be there, Jeff. I haven't checked my schedule, so I'm not positive I'll be there, but if I was there for the last one. If Mike Morrison from 22nd Street, the manager, is going to be there, I might pass. But no, he's a great guy. But I will be there if my schedule allows for that to happen. I think that's the day before Day at the Dock, so I think I'm good. All right, Dan Smith, what is the average length of a slow pitch rod?
It depends. I mean, in majority that I have seen have been around like 6'6" and 6'1". Those are the ones. So 6'6" is going to be our Harrier slow pitch that we have here, and then 6'1" is actually for our Saltiga series.
Yeah.
That's what I've generally seen, and I have seen some that are a little bit shorter. I never see anything go over 7 feet though, and it's just from the research that I've done to try and figure it out because last year I didn't know anything about slow pitch jigging. I went on one of my buddy's charters that he did on the El Dorado. That was a slow pitch jigging only trip essentially. We did have bait on the boat too, but it was mainly for that type of fishing.
Right.
And I did so much research on trying to figure out where to start. I was talking to people at work, trying to figure out like, hey, you know, what do I need so I can start this type of fishing? And I've really only seen 6.6 and 6.1.
Okay, very good. Shoot, Raymond Pacheco, copy and paste that in there again, will you please? Naughty Boy 78. The 22nd Street Landing hoodies from the show are pretty cool. Lots of cool hats too. Absolutely. Jason Lawler says, hi guys. Jason is the new chef on board the Amigo this year. He's a great chef too. Gotcha. Arnie Sportfishing in Ensenada, mi hermano, ¿cómo estás? Hello, Felipe. I'm here eating popcorn. He usually says palomitas, which is popcorn in Espanol. Yeah. And Arnie's Sportfishing, look him up. You can find him on Facebook. He is a great guy to go fishing with out of Ensenada. He'll take you out for rockfish. He'll take you out for bonita, yellowtail, and big tuna, whatever it is you want to do. Arnie's Sportfishing in the beautiful city of Ensenada, Baja California Norte. You are going to love it. Arnie, thank you very much. Don't choke on those palomitas. Be careful. Dan Smith, hello, Jason. Congrats. Yeah, that is good stuff. Thanks, Dan. Jason, can't wait for the season to start. Feed the crew well. The passengers will love it. He's an extraordinary cook. Yeah, and a really fun guy.
I'm gonna have to get on there and get a boat burger.
Yeah, I like to call him. Yeah, he goes way beyond that, man. Yeah. I mean, he's doing like roast lamb and blah blah. Yeah,
okay.
he does the
fancy.
Whole,
all right,
oh
gotcha.
Yeah, but he'll do a great boat burger too. But yeah, he's way beyond that. Great guy, and I call him the life of the party. So he's always, you know, a lot of fun, a lot of energy going on there. Sometimes we have to harness it, especially when he's in the studio audience, because he's always back there making comments, and I want to strangle him sometimes. But most of the time, he's okay. All right, HBXL Outdoors. What's happening, guys, from HBXL Outdoors? I have been able to launch my new company, HBXL Outdoors. What a surprise, right? All hunting and fishing apparel, all the gear you need. All right, best of luck to you. What's the name of that company? Don't look up there. Do you know what it is?
HBXL Outdoors.
See, you know what? Now, I was kind of making fun of him for repeating that. It worked.
It worked. I mean, I remember it.
There it is. Good job, man. I'm going to repeat Friedman Adventures another 6,000 times tonight, at least. All right. And 540 Slinger. Yes, it's the Saturday before Day at the Docks, making reference to the jig throwing coffee get together. All right, HBXL Outdoors. Just want to say thank you, guys. Love watching the channel. Look for our website popping up soon. HBXL Outdoors. Sounds like we should be working together. Thank you so much for your kind words. Really, really appreciate it. And he goes on to say, and thanks again for mentioning that we're helping vets and many others that went really far. Oh, what's your name again? You're the guy I met. We're going to have you on the podcast, right? You couldn't come in because the weather was really bad? Are you that guy? I think I know who this is now. Really nice guy. Super good guy. All right, HBXL. They are, you know, anybody who's helping veterans, I'm all in.
Oh, yeah.
You know? All in. Because, number one, I'm too big of a chicken to have ever done that, so I didn't do it. So I have an immense amount of respect for the men and women who put their life on the line so that you and I can go fishing, pretty much, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Because without their sacrifice, none of this is going on. It's pretty darn amazing. We got a little breather now. I mean, there's not a question up there. Some of you guys that I missed, forgive me, please. Just copy and paste one more time again, and we'll get to it. I'm interested in how you got into fishing. I always like to know what it is that led you to get into fishing.
I really started on, I don't even remember the landing. I was like 8. I vividly remember this trip because it was amazing. It was
Who took you, number one?
It was my dad and my mom.
Yeah.
We all went out of a landing that used to be next to Ballast Point.
Okay.
I don't remember what the landing was called.
What city is that in? Ballast Point?
Long
Beach?
Seal Beach. So you know.
I know what you're talking about. So that would have been Long Beach Marina Sport Fishing, I'll bet.
Okay.
Yeah, and the Enterprise used to run out of there.
I'm pretty sure it was the Enterprise that I was on.
And the city of Long Beach, and John Batts ran out of there. Great guy. Anyway.
Yeah, so I vividly remember that trip because that's when I really started getting into saltwater fishing. We went out and it was nothing but like calico bass and sandies. Just great trip. That was back when I remember they let us keep 20 at a time. So that was,
The good old days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fish tacos for a month.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I remember coming home, my mom cooking everything. It was a great trip. And that's really what got me hooked onto fishing.
Was your mom an angler, or was she just doing it to
She
go
was
along?
just going just to go.
Yeah,
But,
and give you a new experience.
yeah, exactly. And
Yep.
it definitely got me hooked, as you can say, in fishing. And then it just kind of progressed from there. But that's really where I started, was doing that. And I'm always loved the Enterprise because it's kind of like my home boat. And that's where I was fishing at originally, and that's where I still like fishing at too.
Yeah, I can see that. You're comfortable there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a very comfy boat too. I mean,
It's huge.
Big. The walkways on the side are huge.
Huge.
You can lay down and someone can still walk next to you.
I know. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that because sometimes boats, like, man, especially if you're a bigger guy, it's hard to get by people, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. You end up with a photo like me and Greg Obi Mako. That one that he was going to give me a kiss.
Yeah.
I thought, Greg, calm down. He was there. You met him.
Yeah,
tonight.
yeah.
That's right. All right, Jason Lawler, I just logged on. Any more info on the white sea bass? I'm not on the Amigo cooking for the opener. I'll be at Santa Barbara Island April 1st. So he's making reference. I broke a story. I don't know. Do you watch the morning briefing ever?
Every once in a while.
Oh, I'm going to get...
But normally it's because I'm working.
Yes, okay. Well, you can always go back and watch it at night.
Yeah.
But anyway, so a guy by the name of Bob Elliott, he runs a private boat. I think he takes people fishing. Eddie Leland goes with him all the time. Man, I think it was the last day of the PCS show, he had these frickin' giant sea bass that he just caught. He doesn't say where.
I think I saw that picture. It was like 4 or 5 of
Yeah,
them.
just laid out,
Yeah.
pitch and shot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Extraordinary fisherman, according to Eddie. I've never fished with him, but Eddie Leland would know. And if I had to guess, I'd say Santa Barbara Island, but I could be wrong. He could be at Nick, or he could, be anywhere for that matter. But the fact that sea bass have already been taken, that's such a good signal. That is such a good signal. But we've had all this crappy weather, and they're biting. The water temp is not where it should be for a good bite on those things. They're still biting. We've had so much market squid this year, Kristian.
Really?
And yeah, there's been an extraordinary amount of market squid, and the commercial fleet stopped fishing it because China shut down the market, stopped buying. So the little squiddies are out there doing their little thing, not being molested by anybody. And of course, the whole food chain, the big ones come to eat the little ones.
Yeah.
So I think this is going to be an extraordinary year. I'm pretty convinced that the Channel Islands are going to be a lock.
I need to go up there and fish.
My God.
I've never fished the Channel Islands.
It's great. Ventura Sportfishing, a sponsor of ours. Tucker McCombs, he runs the Endeavor. Man, he is an extraordinary guy. He just had a baby not too long ago with Brittany. Great guy, great family, but I mean, work ethic second to none, and his expertise is great. I'm pretty sure they're going to have a great sea bass fishing, but I also think we might see something happen down here at Catalina this year. There's been squid on and off. Yeah, back in my day, man, that's where it would go on, the backside of Cat, Silver Canyon, West Cove up west. So maybe, fingers crossed.
Hopefully.
That would be great.
I'd love to get some good local fishing like that.
Hit that like button, please, everybody. If you're listening, you are listening, obviously. You wouldn't be listening to my voice. Hit that like button. We really appreciate you being here with us. It's been an extraordinary night so far, and it is zooming by. I'm having such a good time with you. Thanks, man, for being here.
Appreciate the invite.
My pleasure. There's been so many questions, I haven't been able to keep up with them all. It's been so crazy. Scott Grant says, is there a newer version of the Daiwa Proteus Win 76 HFS?
So that's a spinning model. I mean, the only new version is going to be the camo, which is going to be the black and white and gray color camo, which is going to be this one here. I'll try and get it over to you. So it'll be this. This isn't the same rod that you're looking for, but that's the newest model that we have versus the blue model.
Yes.
I'm not too sure which model you have, but that would be the next step up, or just going with the standard, X wrap, I guess you can call it.
Yeah.
The shrink wrap.
Yes.
That would be the other option, but there isn't a particularly new one that's coming out.
Yes.
So those are the current models.
Very good. Nolan Oshiro says Daiwa SK 350 400 gram Slatiga 80 LD2 coming.
I mean, it's possible. I'm not too sure. Hopefully it does come out. I would definitely love to get that put onto a tuna special and just fill that baby up with 130 pound and call it a day. You know, and get those big boys in. But I'm not too sure if it's coming out or not. Hopefully it does. Saltiga SKs, I think our largest is only 300 grams at the moment.
Oh, really?
So
okay.
if there is larger ones, it might be in a different market. Hopefully we do bring them here. I would definitely love to get some 400 grammers to get into those real deep areas.
Yeah,
with,
right.
With slow pitching.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, or even big bluefin.
We're going to go out and catch these dumb black cods. We're going to talk to this guy that I know, and we're going to call his freaking bluff. He takes his phone and he shows me, he goes, I can catch these anytime you want. So we're going to call his bluff.
Let's do it.
That sound good?
Yeah, we got the gear.
Sooner rather than later. I'm going to call. I already sent him a text, so we'll see what happens.
I mean, it is open year round.
Yeah, right. Scott Grant wants to know, what new rods for saltwater spinning reels? Any new rods?
Not really at the moment. I mean, for saltwater spinning, I always recommend the Proteus. I mean, I use a Proteus medium light is what it's called. It's rated from 20 to 40 pound. That's what I caught my dodo on this year. Or sorry, not this year, last year. Super light line. I think I was using the MCAS 5000 bind and run, which has a double clutch. I should have brought it today. I didn't. But it has a double clutch system, so it is a bait runner, so you can put into free spool, just like a bait caster is. Really great. 30 pound to 16 pound. I mean, they were making fun of me on the boat because they're like, when I hooked it, they're like, oh, on the trout gear, because it was hands down the lightest rod on the boat. But I got it in within 2 minutes.
Oh, what's the issue then?
Yeah, exactly. It was fun. It was fun. That was one of my goals on that trip, on that Mahi trip, was to get something on that light rod.
How many Dorado did you have on the boat that day?
I only had one.
I mean, the boat.
Oh, the boat? Oh.
I mean, was it 100 or was it a slow day, like 20?
It was relatively slow, but probably like around, like, I would say 70 to 80.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't crazy like it was earlier in the season, but I mean, it was still pretty good, being the fact that we didn't run into them until 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I think we only had maybe like 3 hours with them.
Yeah.
So it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, no, that's a great, I mean, in any other year, if you tell me I can go on a 3/4 day boat and catch 70 Dorado on the boat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible. Now, here we are, Kristian, looking down the barrel of an El Nino. Noah is like 100% now.
Really?
Saying that we are going to have an El Nino this summer.
I hope so.
So we are looking down the barrel of who knows what, man. Maybe Wahoo back up here at the rigs, or maybe.
I remember, was it 2015? I went out on I think it was the freelance that I went out of Davy's Locker. We went 3 hours off the coast, got into yellowfin, got into skipjack.
That's so much fun.
We've never seen skipjack over here.
Right.
Like, we ran into them, but again, 2015. We're what, 8 years later? We're about to have another one.
Yep, here we go.
So hopefully, I'm hoping.
Because we've been in this 3-year La Nina, and now here we come out of it, heading toward that, like you say, the purple haze, the skipjack, and all the other stuff that. It depends upon how warm the water gets. Yeah. The possibilities are endless. Blue marlin. I mean, I know I'm like really going crazy now, but who knows? I mean, we had Wahoo up here that one time. So
yeah, we really don't know. I mean, the whole influx of mahi coming in was amazing. I mean,
Raymond Pacheco, I screwed him the last time. Maybe this is his question again. Raymond, thank you. I'm sorry about that. Is there any new tackle, jigs, lures, etc., that you guys picked up at the PCS show that look promising for the upcoming season?
I picked up some JYG jigs. I love the company. These are the new colors that they have here. So this is the new Katy Perry, thin one, 240 grams. Can definitely use for tuna. I actually paired it up with their own assist hooks that they do make.
Oh, cool.
They are rated for tuna, 5/0. I think they do have bigger ones as well. But again, that one's a 240 gram with a 5/0 hook. Or this new color, which I mean, I kind of think is like a Rasta color, just missing the
Rasta, baby.
Yeah. That one, I don't think they have these online yet. I did see them at the show at PCS and purchased these from them. That one is 300 grams. That'll definitely work for tuna as well. This one has more of like the streaker kind of profile, so you can get down there fast. It's not going to have as much flutter as this one will. but you have to mix and match. You have to. You don't know what they're gonna bite.
Right.
Sometimes they want that smaller profile. Sometimes they're gonna want that that big beefy. Like, oh, I'm really gonna get full off of this meal when you're just gonna catch it.
That's part of the mystery,
Yeah.
once again, that you got to have to unravel. All right, Steve Bermuda says the Tamacon 500 needs work on the instruction manual for the English market. Less stick people, more words.
Yes, definitely agree with you on that. From what I know, we are working on a proper translation. Essentially, what happened was that they translated it directly from Japanese to English, so some of those they don't translate correctly.
Yeah.
So I believe that we are working on a new one. That way we can get everything out for you. So hopefully soon we can get that out and have a better manual for you guys. Sorry about that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, it is what it is, but we are aware of the situation, trying to remedy.
He's working on it, Steve. Yeah. All right, Dan Smith. Remember when surf fishing during grunion runs? Shuffle your feet. Lots of stingrays come in. Also, sorry, off topic. No, hey Dan, I love it, man. I get screwed by a stingray every single year. It's gonna happen. I fish barefoot. I don't fit. My kids come down this one day and. They had these they looked like they were going trout fishing and they had these big boots and all that. And Philip's like, hey, this is so bitchin'. And I go, you guys are lame. What is, I'm in my swim training. Oh, yeah, wait till you get stuck by one of those, And I do, and they hurt like hell.
They hurt. I've gotten it in the hands a couple of times.
Yeah, it hurts in the hand, too. Yeah, and it's those little...
it's always the little ones.
Those round stingrays. They're nasty. Yeah. God should... do something like send a lightning bolt and eradicate them all. Yeah, why not?
Same thing with
what purpose do they serve other than inflicting pain on unsuspecting swimmers? And I'm getting carried away, but I hate those little things. So, hey, Dan, sometimes that shuffling your feet doesn't work because you shuffle into them and then they get you in the side. Yeah, get you in the ankle and stuff. But that's good advice. All right, Jason Lawler, all I fish is Daiwa. Plan on putting a beating on the fish. My Saltiga slow pitch included. Jason's the new cook on the chef, I should say. So that's good stuff.
Gotcha, yeah.
Gerald Perilous. Gerald, good to see you, my friend. Hello, guys. Requesting for slow pitch jigging topics in the future. Much appreciated. You're getting hooked on slow pitching, right?
I can definitely bring more, next time. I do have way more gear for slow pitching.
Maybe we can do a whole slow pitch show.
Yeah.
Can you do that?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll find out.
All right. There you go, Gerald. Your wish is our command. No problem. Blue Sky, speaking of Wahoo, when is Wahoo season? It's right now, man, down the Baja Coast, about 600 miles. Wahoo season is going to be when you find those things in really warm water. So that's where you find them. And they've been biting okay down there for the long-range fleet. Those guys have been on some 50 to 90-pound yellowfin with occasional fish up there in the 160, 70, 80, and even over 200 pounds. And then they've been getting some Wahoo also. But you need warm water for those of you. Have you caught Wahoo?
I've never caught a Wahoo.
Man, it's so funny. You're going to love it. You are going to love it.
I have to do a long-range trip. I haven't done one yet. I've only done overnight so far.
Yeah.
So definitely need to start doing some long-range ones.
Poco a poco, right? Little by little.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's see. Jason, Gerald, I will be on SPJ on the Amigo as much as I can. Thanks, Jason. I'll check out my availability to go. Great show, says Jason. Thank you, Jason. Because of your support, we're able to do this. Thank you very, very much, my friend. Where's the grunion run? Well, that's a good question. I can tell you where there's been some good grunion runs in the past. Bolsa Chica is good. They're in northern Baja. Torrance Beach has been a good place, especially around Topaz Rock Jetty. Used to get them there all the time. I'll be checking out Surfside this evening because I only have to stay up another hour after the show pretty much, and I think I can do that. What do you think?
Yeah, it should be fine.
Been drinking enough coffee
I go to
tonight.
bed at 9:30, so that works.
Yeah, you go to bed at 9:30? That makes me feel better.
Yeah, I got to get my sleep.
I do too. My mom I used to tell my mom I need my beauty rest, and she said it's not working. So I don't know what to tell you, man. Yeah. All right, Jamie. So Jamie, grunion runs are gonna. I believe it starts tonight at 9:40. So I never go until an hour later.
Yeah.
Go down there at 9:40, and there's nothing, and then you're freaking freezing to death, and you're just over it. So if I go down at 10:40, and walk the beach. I'll just walk up and down tonight till about 11, and then I'll throw the towel in. But
Yeah.
maybe I'll have some exciting video for you later tonight. Who knows?
Yeah,
A
definitely.
reason to stay up till midnight tonight with Friedman Adventures. If you have absolutely nothing else to do in
Yeah.
your life. All right, let's see. Dan Smith. Same with me, Phil. I've been stunned over 10 times. Love you, brother. Love you, Dan. So good to see you and Kim at the show. And once again, I deeply appreciate all you do. Dan Smith, a great Patreon member. Make sure you become a Patreon member, only $5 a month. And it really, really helps us a lot. Jason Durello, I am going to buy a Saltillo 55, but I heard the drag back up and slips. Any info on that?
Honestly, I haven't had any issues with the 55.
So nobody's come in and complained about that.
I mean, the only thing that I've had issues with is just they don't maintain them, so they need to get serviced. But with that 55, you do get a 5-year warranty, 5-year clean and lube service for the next 5 years. So keep your receipt, bring it into us if you're local to Cypress, California. For the next 5 years, you'll have a clean and lube service for free.
So you walk in the front door there. I've been over there before, and you guys take care of those guys?
Yeah, you just bring it in. Normally, probably like a week turnaround, if not faster than that.
That's great.
And you don't pay anything. That's the whole part of our Saltiga warranty. So it's included for you. So, I mean, if you have any issues, bring it in. We'll take a look at it. But as far as I know, with drags, haven't had a single issue with them.
So let's say you want to do preventative maintenance. In other words, you don't want to wait till you have a problem. You want to anticipate it. How often should you bring it in to be serviced?
Depends.
Let's say you fish hard.
If you fish hard,
Well, you do 10 trips.
10 trips probably every 6 months.
Really? Okay.
I would, for me personally, I want to make sure my stuff is good. I don't want to, be out there and all of a sudden something happens. I do like every 6 months. If you want to be, a little more conservative, then, you can do a yearly maintenance. But do it in the off season, not before the season starts.
Yeah.
Because right before the season starts, that's when you're going to have a longer turnaround time.
Yes.
But,
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Sounds good. Emilio Escobar, some highlights on the rail rod from Daiwa, the Unlimited. I'm looking to get them. Uh-oh.
You mean this boy right here?
So this is incredible. This thing is rated 80 to unlimited.
Yeah.
So
Now,
I can
don't-
fish a 1,000-pound test with this thing or what?
That I'm not too sure about. I don't know exactly what it means to unlimited, but it is a great rod. You have a really nice grip right here, a little bit beefier than the standard Proteus because this is a Proteus tuna special. Again, this I think retails for $350.
Uh-huh.
So still not bad for what you're
Not
getting.
at all.
It is kind of a beefier rod though.
Yeah, it is.
Definitely on the heavier side, but I mean that's kind of what you want if you're going after these big boys.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean I know people who go after 400 pounders with this.
Yes.
I've talked to them over the phone and things like that, and it definitely can handle that type of fish. I would put on either a 55 or a 60 lever drag on this for sure.
Yes.
And you'll
That's
be
a
able,
beautiful rod.
Yeah, beautiful rod. I mean, I think it's a 7'4", and again, it is rated from 80 to unlimited.
That is amazing. Emilio, how do you like that, man? You asked the question, and here he is, man.
Luckily, I had it.
He's got it. He showed me that before, and I'm going like, unlimited? That is trippy.
Yeah, it is trippy.
By the way, you didn't ask me what I'm doing with a bassinet in my office. Do you know what that's all about?
No,
You have no idea, do
I have
you?
no idea.
We collect so much clothing and ship it all to Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So we're going to ship that. That's the end of it.
Yeah.
We have 16 pallets of clothing.
Oh, wow.
We've already sent down a bunch of stuff, but we're going to send down even more. So that's what we've been doing around here. I put up, hey, I need your help. And man, our audience, these guys who are such great people, they just show up here with just tons of really quality stuff. Because we don't ship anything down there that's not decent.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because you're poor doesn't mean. So I thank you all for that. So that's in case you thought, like, what are you doing here with a bassinet?
Now I know.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Fish Guy. I know this is focused on saltwater. Oh, that's all right. But I do love my Daiwa Regal reels for light line freshwater fishing.
Those are great reels. I mean, they're perfect for trout fishing. You can use them for bass fishing, depending on which size you got. I mean, they're great budget reels. If I remember, I think they're around like $59.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if I remember, I might be a little off, but they're definitely in that budget range. And I mean, honestly, you can't beat it. I mean, I use a Crossbar LT for trout fishing. It's a $35 reel. spool it with 2-pound Iser, and you're good to go.
That is hard to beat,
Yeah,
man.
$35, you can be fishing with a good reel, and it's actually surprisingly smooth. For it only having one ball bearing in it, it is a very smooth reel.
That is great. Fish Guy, by the way, this is only focused on saltwater fishing because that's where you guys are taking it. But any question anybody out there has, shoot it in here, and if we can answer it, we will be happy to do that. Blue Skies, hey Dan, I see pongueros use raw potato juice rubbed on the on the what?
On the
Sting?
sting. So for the stingrays.
Oh, okay. I've seen it and it works. Oh shoot, really? That's weird.
No, that's a first for me.
You know, all these other guys, these weirdos guys, they're like, you gotta pee. Some guy wants to pee on me.
Yeah.
I'm like running in the other direction.
Pretty sure that was for jellyfish.
Yeah, I don't care what it's for. I'm not having anybody do that.
Yeah.
You know, what works the best of all, at least, I don't know, potato juice works. How the hell are you gonna get potato juice when you're?
Yeah,
How do you get that?
Run and just maybe carry a potato with you at all times. Just in case. At least when you're walking down.
The hottest water you can take and soaking your foot in it really does alleviate the pain.
Yeah.
And you just got to keep changing the water. And
Yeah.
that seems to work really well. But potato juice, okay. Well, I'll have to try. How do you get potato juice? You take the potato and...
Squeeze it. Yeah.
Okay. Dan Smith, yeah, two big guys showed up at my door and told me either you become a Patreon member or we got to break something. Oh my God, that worked.
Yeah, it
I'm
works,
going to have to
yeah.
do more of that. So all of you join before those two guys show up. A couple of big guys from San Pedro. People get mad at me because I always say San Pedro. So San Pedro. All right, yeah, Dan.
Close enough.
We'll send those leg breakers out here really soon. Current Jam says Saltus 2-speed lever drag left hand coming this year? Question mark. We've already answered that, but go ahead.
As far as I know, it's not in the works. If it is, it probably will be a big market for us because it is something that we get asked a lot.
Yeah.
I get emails about it constantly. I do all the consumer emails that we get through Daiwa.com or Daiwa.us. But as of right now, there's nothing in the works for it.
It sounds like there's a need for it, though,
There,
right?
there is definitely a need for it. I don't know of many companies who do make a left hand, and it's just because we have to change all the gearing.
Yes.
So like in some of our left hand models, we only offer like one set of gearing, just because it's a lot to change out.
Right.
Normally it's right hand. So like for I think the Lexa, we offer like a 7.1.
Yeah.
So it's like a happy medium between the low gear ratio and the high gear ratio, but that's the only thing that we offer.
All right. Perfect.
Hopefully in the future,
We'll
maybe we'll be able to do something like that.
All right. Tons of questions coming in. Don't you dare miss Bass Pro Shops in Rancho Cucamonga. This Saturday, I will be there from 1 to 2:30 doing the podcast. I'll probably be set up, though, there around 12 noon, hang out till about 4. So I would love to thank you for your great support. We're starting to move up on 2 million views. So I can't thank you enough. Beyond my wildest expectations, how good this is all going. Great to be working with Daiwa, Kristian. I mean that sincerely. All right, I have an older Daiwa Grand Wave. Oh, and hit that like button. Reel. Do you know where I can get a reel clamp for it?
If we have them, give us a call. Number is 562-375-6800. Any of our customer service reps will be able to help you. It is a very small team, so we work pretty closely with each other.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
And he's welcome to drop by the office if you wanted to do that.
If you're local, come by. But majority of the time, give us a call so we can try and figure out if we do have a clamp for it or not. In some cases, maybe we'll have you come in and try and see if you can figure one out, but there's no guarantees. That's the only downside, especially for older reels like that. I mean, they get phased out once they're discontinued within like 5 years after that.
But you're going to do the best you can.
We'll do what we can. If not, there is another distributor that we have down in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah.
They're called Days Parts and Service. They have a lot of our discontinued parts too.
Oh, good.
So
good.
it's another option that we give to a lot of our customers in case we don't have them.
Perfect. Yeah. Emilio Escobar says, Daiwa, great service.
Appreciate that. And, I'm happy to be part of that team.
What's your favorite setup for 100-pound bluefin tuna? What do you think people should use? That 80 to unlimited rod?
I mean, you can.
That's a little overkill.
It might be a little stiff. I mean, personally, I like using this right here, which is a Proteus heavy. rated 55 to 100 pound braid. $200 rod, nothing too crazy, not gonna break the bank. The rod itself is fairly light.
Yes.
But it has the power. I mean, you can push 120 pound on this. You just might have to finesse it in a little bit. And then I would pair it with either a 35 lever drag or the 35 HA star drag, which again has 25 pounds of drag, 300 yards of 65 pound braid on it. So it'll be more than enough for what you need. But you do have to make sure it is going to be 100 pound and not like 150 pound because they change.
Yeah.
As soon as they get into those bigger boys, the fight is completely different. And that's when you're going to want to go with this tuna special right here.
Yeah, and I mean, the fact that you can't be sure what's gonna bite
you
your
don't know
jig
what
or
you're
your
gonna
bait,
bite.
so you might as well play it safe in my book, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so go with the bigger rod, but the rod that you just showed, $200.
$200 for a Proteus. I mean,
That's incredible.
For you being able to get into tuna fishing at that price range,
Right.
is pretty good. I mean, the way you're gonna want to spend your money on is gonna be the reel. The reel, you're going to want to spend a little bit more on it. Whether you want to go with a star drag or a lever drag, it just all depends on your budget.
Yes.
But I mean, there is a ton of good budget reels out there, and you just have to look, do your research, and see what you want to use for fishing.
All right. Isaac is a great guy. He sent in some great video of Ethan, his son, and him catching trout. Thank you so much for doing that, Isaac. He wants to know any strike stops on the smaller Saltiga reels.
Strike stops? I'm not too familiar what that is.
So I think that's when you push it up into strike, right?
Okay. So there isn't a stop on strike. There is a stop on essentially what would be like max.
Yeah.
I don't have one, but on the actual lever drag here, you put it all the way down for free spool, and you can go all the way up. And there is a stop on, again, max. So if you put into max on like the bigger Saltigas, you're gonna get like 45 pounds of drag if you do all the way max, but you do have to hit that button. But there is no stop on strike itself.
Okay, very good. HBXL Outdoors, remember that?
Oh yeah, remember that.
I love these guys, man. My Daiwa Coastal is my #1 go-to. 99.9% of my gears, dialer, absolutely love it.
That is a great reel. I mean, you can use it for inshore fishing, spotty fishing. I mean, you can even use it for calicos when you're a little bit offshore. I wouldn't go for rockfish with that, but definitely calicos, sandies, fun fight with that reel.
Israel de la Cruz is mi hermano.
Oh, yeah?
He really is a brother of mine. He's such a good guy. He's been here, brought a bunch of clothing, brought a beautiful reel to raffle off, so we had funds to send the clothing down.
Yeah.
Super good father. Israel, does Daiwa have any plans on going bigger on Lexa like a 500 series?
I'm hoping they do. I would definitely prefer a larger bait caster. I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely love my Saltigas, but the simplicity of a bait caster, having that level wind, it just helps a lot, especially if you're, say you're doing deep drops for rock fishing, say, you're doing, surface fishing. With that 500, I mean, even with our 400s, you can still catch like a 90-pound bluefin with it. I mean, it has 28.7 pounds of drag.
That's a lot of drag.
A lot of drag for that little reel.
Right.
I mean, with our new TWs, they only weigh 12.2 ounces.
Wow.
Very, very light compared to the old HDs, which were at like 17 ounces.
Yes.
So they cut down on some of the weight, made it stronger, made it lighter. But I'm hoping we come out with the 500 because I'd be really excited to do that and just get that more line capacity that the conventionals have.
So whenever you guys come out with new stuff, you're just going to have to let me know and then come down here and we'll break the news, man.
We can call Greg.
Yeah, right.
We can call Greg and see.
By the way, I came in there. Were you there the day I came in?
I think I was there when you picked up some stuff.
Yeah, I came in and picked up some stuff. Greg is such a nice guy, man. I mean,
he's cool
he actually makes me feel like I'm somebody, you know? I mean, he's really good at that.
Yeah, he is.
And super good guy. So really enjoy working with him. And I think we're going to meet up this week or next week or something like that. So looking forward to that. Hopefully I'll come over and see you over there also.
I'm normally there all Monday through Friday. So
Perfect. Fish Guy says, speaking of Bass Pro Shop, they are having a sale on the Daiwa Regal, I believe, for their Spring Fishing Classic sale that starts in the next day or two. Fish Guy, you're 100% right. They are going to have an incredible sale on all kinds of stuff. And that's why coming to Saturday's podcast, it's kind of not a kickoff because I believe it does start in the next day or so, but it's going to be a lot of fun and you're going to save a lot of money. And the general manager, Bob Miner, this is the first time I mentioned this. Mm-hmm. If you walk in when you're checking out and you mention Friedman Adventures, you know what happens? They throw you out of the store. No, fish guy. Other than that, don't say Friedman Adventures. They'll throw you out. No, I'm kidding you, man. They are going to have incredible sales, and I appreciate you mentioning the fact that they have a sale on the Daiwa Regal, and I'm sure they're going to blow out a lot of stuff. They are big on doing that kind of stuff. So this Saturday, 1 to 2:30, Rancho Cucamonga, I will be there. I'll be there a little bit earlier, actually, but we'll be doing a live podcast, 6 of them, and they're only like 20 minutes. So we'll do 26 separate 20-minute podcasts, all saltwater themes, surf fishing, tuna fishing, blah, 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 blah. You'll be able to ask questions and participate, and we'll have our table set up so you can come over, and I get to thank you for your great support. Really do appreciate that. All right, Jeff Goye says, reels are to rods as scopes are to rifles, and where you should put your money.
Yeah, definitely agree.
Yeah.
Definitely agree on that. I mean,
Jeff, I think you hit the nail on the head. Yeah. It's hard to argue with that, right?
And that's one of my buddies as well.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Recognize that name.
Jeff, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Really appreciate it. All right, Tim says, are any Daiwa reels made here in America? Estados Unidos.
Nothing is made here in America.
Nothing in Gringolandia.
Nope, nothing here. I mean, our most expensive are going to be in Japan or Korea, which would be the Saltigas. They're made in Thailand, and we do have some made in China. I think those are like the main ones, but nothing is made here in America. We are a Japanese company, so most of our high-end stuff is going to be made in Japan, just like the Stees.
Right.
The Stees, those are all made in Japan. The Tanacoms, made in Japan as well, same thing as the Seaborgs. So those get shipped over directly from Japan.
Yeah, very good. Yeah. Isaac says, yes, I got to be careful. I go all the way on my smaller Saltiga reels. So he goes all the way, so he's got to be careful, right? Or you're just full.
You're going to be full, and if that fish breaks your line, I mean, I'm sorry.
I know, man. Heartbreak, right? We still have lots of questions. I want to get to an electric reel that you brought because we're talking about doing that black eye. We'll do that in a second. We'll catch up here because I don't want to screw anybody up here. So many people watching. Hit that like button, please. I'll see you at Bass Pro Shops. Become a Patreon member. Go grunion hunting tonight with Kristian and Phil. Well, Christian's not crazy enough to go, but I'll be down there.
Maybe not tonight. Maybe Friday night.
All right, perfect. Yeah, so you can sleep in Saturday morning.
Exactly.
All right. Are you discounting the Saltus 50 HA level wine? Fish Guy wants to know.
So the 50 HA is being discontinued. It is now the 50 HB.
Discontinuing, I'm sorry. Yes, you're right.
No worries. Yeah, so the 50 HA is being discontinued. I actually have did I not bring it? Oh, I did. I have a 40, so I'm assuming you're talking about this one right here. This is the 40, just slightly smaller, the silver one. So we are discontinuing them, or they were discontinued last year. And we have a new one, which is the 50 Saltus HB, I believe it is. Same reel, different look. They just kind of did a whole makeover on it. Great looking reel. I can't wait to get it. Same price point, everything. Everything else is going to be the same. It's just going to be more of like our standard Saltus series. So it's going to have that black and blue color that the Saltus has been known for.
Yeah, right.
Versus this old silver one.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing, but you're going to have the same reel.
Man, people just want to see more stuff from Daiwa, don't they?
Yeah.
They're so happy with the product, the price, and the service. Like, on the Saltigas, 5 years of service.
5 years.
That's pretty incredible.
Service. Yeah, it is incredible. I mean, the fact that we can offer that to our customers and be able to take care of them for that period is great. I mean, and most of the time, if you come in-house, we try and do a turnaround time within 2 days.
That's great.
Like we try. We do our best. I mean, we can't guarantee it, but we do what we can.
This is probably like, I'm guessing you would recommend people when the season ends and it's winter time. That's a time to bring it in. Then you're not even in a rush for them.
You don't have to worry about it or anything. That's a perfect time to do it. That way, you're not waiting a longer period when you really need
You need it
Yeah.
because they're biting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You want to do that ahead of time. You
Yeah.
know, be ahead of the game.
Right. All right. Isaac wants to know what the name of the bigger tuna rod, the Unlimited.
Gotcha. So this
What's the
is-
name of that again?
So this is the Proteus Tuna Special. So it's going to be a XXXHF. So it's the, you know, extra heavy. It should be the 7.4 model. It's actually, there's only going to be one on our website. So just look under the Proteus rods, the standard ones, and you'll be able to see it. It should be on the very bottom.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is the Proteus Tuna Special.
All right. There you go, Isaac. DBJ, Lexa 500 in the future?
Hopefully. Again, you know, I really want that to happen, but I don't know yet. But I'm hoping that there is plans, you know, hopefully within the next, you know, couple years would be nice, if not sooner than that.
All right. This is Kristian Montalvan from Daiwa, by the way. You're doing a fantastic job.
Appreciate it.
Do you realize we've been blabbing for, do you want to guess how long we've been talking?
What, maybe an hour?
Hour and a half?
Really?
Yeah.
Doesn't even feel like that.
Flies when we're having fun, baby.
Oh, yeah.
I'm telling you.
That's how it was at PCS. I mean, I didn't even realize that it was like 4 o'clock.
8
I
hours,
was like,
right?
what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about stuff you enjoy and love.
Exactly.
Right. I feel the exact same way. When we hit 2 hours, though, Tony will be here.
Kick us
Usually, yeah, he's got a pellet gun, and he goes easy at first, hits you in the knee, and then
Yeah.
starts aiming for your forehead.
You're like, all right, get up.
Right, exactly. All right, let's see. HB I don't want to screw that up. Outdoors, the coastal is great for lingcod when we hit up Albion. I do need a better rod paired with it. What is your opinion for lingcod?
For lingcod. I mean, I've never caught a lingcod. I have seen people catch it. My brother-in-law did catch one on my gear before.
Yeah. What was that $100 rod that you
I
had?
would
It's
say
a freshwater rod,
$100,
right?
Yeah, this one will be able to definitely do the job.
I would think that'd be
Yeah.
a bitchin' rod to catch a ling on.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, this will be a 20 to 50 pound. This is only $100. It is the Daiwa DX swim bait rod. They have multiple different ones. This is the extra heavy. The heavy, I believe, is 12 to 40 pound. That one's gonna have a little bit more sensitivity versus this one. But I mean, these DX swim bait rods will definitely be able to do the job for a lingcod. Unless it's a monster, then you might have a little bit of trouble, but
I doubt it.
it depends. I mean, and with lingcods, I mean, I don't know how they fight really, so I'm not too familiar.
They fight
with
pretty hard, but
Yeah.
that rod would handle a
Yeah.
ling no
Yeah,
problem.
this
I can tell you that.
20 to 50 would be able to do it, no problem.
Yeah, that'd be fun too. I
Yeah.
can tell it would be a fun battle
And
with
for
that.
$100, you can't really beat it.
Isaac Israel de la Cruz just sent us $20.
Oh, there you
Man,
go.
I love it. Israel is a Patreon member, and I can't thank you enough. Israel, thank you so very, very much. Great guy, and that is deeply appreciated. You know, here very soon, Patreon members, I'm going to throw out a thing where you can come and be part of our studio audience. You don't have a lot of room here. Well, we can get 4 guys
a
in
couple
here.
people here, yeah.
And Phil Friedman will make his homemade burrito for you. So probably starting next week, we'll put it on the Patreon page so you'll be able to see it. First 4 of you who want to come down here are welcome to come sit in here and be part of our studio audience. You can even ask questions and you get one of my burritos. Just let me know if you want it spicy or not, because I like spicy. What about you?
It depends.
Oh.
Depends on mood I'm in. Sometimes I'm in for spicy, sometimes not.
I love spicy, man. Bring it on. I haven't done that chip challenge yet, but I hear that's brutal. Have you heard about that?
Yeah, my brother-in-law did it.
Did he get? It's
No.
brutal. Oh,
I mean,
really?
he's used to spicy though. That's the thing.
Well, I
He
mean,
is.
yeah. Some of the guys, I mean, Mexicans in Mexico.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I was like,
the-
what the
the
hell?
seafood
They're
chips.
freaking, and I'm burning up, man. I'm just
Yeah.
like, oh my God. Steve Bermudez, what is Daiwa policy on older reel parts? How far back do you service older reels? So, Steve, was Daiwa in business during the Civil War? That's about when Steve would started buying his stuff. No,
but normally for discontinued reels, we try and service at least for the next 5 years.
Okay.
So we do plan to try and have parts for the next 5 years. Sometimes you do run out of parts, before that, but generally the rule of thumb is going to be 5 years after it's discontinued.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Turbo T2. I made it to the live stream. Whoa, he's so happy. And Turbo, you're number one. Thanks for joining us, my friend. Really, really appreciate it. Isaac says, what is the difference between a
So the Pro Rex and the Lexa.
The Pro Rex and the Lexa 400. Got my wife a Pro Rex because of the purple accents.
Yeah,
so cute.
I completely understand that. I love purple. So actually, I do have a Lexa here. So this is a Lexa 400.
Nice.
But I did take off some of the stuff off of a Pro Rex
Yes.
to have those accents. Now, the major difference between the Pro Rex and the Lexa 400 is going to be the coloration, and the Pro Rex is more of a freshwater reel for muskies versus the Lexa being a saltwater reel. So this one has corrosion-resistant ball bearings, and the Pro Rex does not. So it's not recommended to use in saltwater. Now you can, but you're gonna have to take care of it, clean it up, and probably get it serviced with us probably like yearly, if not more, depending on how much you use it in the saltwater. But that's going to be the major differences. Other than that, they're the same reel, same line capacity, same drag, and it's just going to be down to the corrosion-resistant ball bearings is the major difference.
Isaac sent in $20. Worm King swim baits, $20. Man, we're
Nice,
rolling
yeah.
in it. Dan
Get
Bates,
some pizza.
$10. Deeply appreciated, you guys. It's the only way we can continue to produce all this content for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really appreciate it. It's great stuff, right? I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
when
great
people
stuff.
are
Yeah.
doing that, you know that they're loving the content, and I thank you for
no
that.
problem. Yeah, I appreciate the invite on the show. I'm
It's
glad
been
I'm
fun.
able to bring all this stuff and
Yeah,
show
heck
everyone.
yeah. Anthony Malfitano is another great guy. What's up, family? Just got off work and tuned in. Super happy to see all families supporting the channel. I absolutely love the products. My 5,000 BG and 6,000 are my favorite spinning reels last year. Anthony, give my best to your family. Miss you. Great guy. So he's loving your stuff
Yeah,
too.
the BGs for the price, I mean, I think they're run between 129 and 149. They're great budget saltwater reels. I have seen people catch tuna on them. Don't quote me on that. I've only seen pictures, but I mean, people do it back east. Back east, they generally use spinning gear. They don't like using
Yeah, I know.
conventionals. They don't
Yeah.
like using braid.
Right.
It's just a whole different style of fishing out over there.
Yep. Anthony just threw us $10. Man, I'm telling you, you guys are awesome. Thank you so very much, Anthony. Really appreciate it. My Proteus rod and BG 6000 were awesome. Can't wait to
Love
set
those
up my
Proteus
Proteus
rods.
collection.
Love them.
Yeah, they're awesome. Isaac says, good to know. And Worm King says, BG all the way.
Yeah. Check out the BGMQs.
Worm King is going to be at the Bart Hall show, Worm King Lures.
Okay. Well,
This
go
guy
check him out.
bought this stuff. And Worm King, I was mentioning, not that it has anything to do with you, but there's a guy who knows where to catch blackcod. And you want to take an electric reel out there and give it a try sometime.
definitely
So
wanna
we're going
do
to have
that.
to give that a shot and see what happens. Anthony, thanks again for the $10. We really appreciate it. That's a nice segue into the electric reel.
Yeah, let's
do that.
Let's bring that
And if this
out.
starts getting out of control, I might butt in and ask a question. But
no
I think we
worries.
could do this.
So this is going to be my setup for this year. Haven't quite used it yet because waiting for it to open up. So this is a Proteus medium heavy. It is rated from 40 to 80 pound braid. I am running a Tanacom 500 on it with a battery made by a company called Real Battery. They are based out in Florida. Great batteries. This is what they recommended for deep drops. So just constantly, doing the deep drops. This is supposed to be able to handle all day fishing with this Tanacom 500.
That's great.
And this is mainly because if you're fishing, 6, 7, 800 feet, deeper, you're not gonna want to sit there and just reel in all day. So it is an electric reel. I don't have the drag on, so you can, turn it on right now. It's just the motor spinning at the moment.
Right.
But again, I have this paired with 30 pound braid. I think I have around 650 yards of 30 pound.
So that's
So
going to get you
more
to the
than
bottom.
enough.
Yes.
I
Battery pack is here.
Yeah, this is the battery
That's
pack.
nice, right?
It, really nice. It is, not gonna lie, a little heavy, but I did put the battery pack on the back side. That way, if you want to put this on the rail, you still can.
Good idea.
Just in case. I mean, and then plus, this is always going to be tucked under your arm. It's not, still has a thin profile. So, I mean, again, it is going to be a little heavy.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do the...
You don't have to reel it in, man.
The heavy lifting.
Yeah, right. Perfect for our black cod adventure,
Perfect.
right?
Yeah, I'm excited for it. I mean, hopefully, we can dial it in, get these guys in. I heard that these guys are amazing for dinner.
Yes.
That's what I want to do.
I believe they're a real delicacy in Japan. I mean, the Japanese love black cod. We call them sablefish.
Sablefish, yeah.
And I told you that when I was a kid on the Redondo barge, we would catch thousands day after day after day.
That's crazy to think about.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I've never seen one in my lifetime.
Yeah. My lifetime's way longer than yours.
Yeah, just a little, But definitely recommend this. Again, this battery pack is by Real Battery. They are based out in Florida. Check them out. They have battery packs for Tanacoms, Seaborgs, other brands as well, like Shimano and stuff. And there's a couple other brands as well. But they do make battery packs for that. Super convenient. Does come with its own charger. They do you sell their own short cord instead of having those long 9-foot cords that normally come with it. And if you really want to, you can actually unscrew this. The battery pack will screw directly into the reel.
Oh, perfect.
So if you don't want to have
What's
that
this
cord.
going to cost?
So Tanacom itself is going to be $600.
Okay.
The rod itself, you can get a standard Proteus, not with the wind grip, for $200. I use a medium heavy. I like having a little bit softer of a rod for deep drop, so you can really feel that, the bite, and braid all the way. That way you have the sensitivity. The battery itself, it runs, I believe, around 280.
Okay.
Again, a little on the pricier side, but definitely worth it, because then you don't have to have a 12-volt, car battery sticking in a backpack or on the ground or something like that. You're going to be mobile with this.
Yes.
And that's the whole reason why I, was planning on building this last year. That way I am ready for this season, which again, I'm really excited about. This is going to be my go-to every time I go out on the boats now.
Yes. Yes.
So, we'll see what happens. Hopefully we can get into those black cod, get into those deeper drops.
I've got a guy.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, unless he's a BSer.
we're gonna have
I
to
know
find
you're
out.
watching out there too. So those photos you showed me on your phone, I hope that he didn't Google them and then say, "Hey, look what I caught." All right, we're trusting you. All right, let's see. Isaac says I'll have to deck out her Lexa now. Can you buy those parts?
Yes, you definitely can buy the parts. Give us a call. Unless you have the Lexa 400 schematic, we'll just have to get you those bearings. That's the only difference. So you just have to order those bearings. I mean, another thing you can do, if you're local, come over to us, fill out some paperwork. We can have our technicians install those bearings for you to make sure you get you those corrosion resistant ones. But again, that's the only difference between the two.
All right, perfect. I may have missed somebody. I'm sorry. Curtis says, "Hey Phil, can you collect Mexico donations while at Bass Pro?" Yeah, bring it, Curtis. Don't bring it in the store. Just come over and find me, and then we'll walk out to my car and we'll transfer the stuff. That'll be great. HBXL, I'm a rep for Feel Free Kayaks and would love to hook up with Daiwa. All right, well, we'll see what we can do.
Yeah,
You're never going to forget their name after tonight.
You can email us at csr@daiwa.com. I'll get the email. We can go from there.
Look at this. Now, don't look. I want to surprise you. I'm going out on Sunday if you want to come out and catch your first black cod.
Oh, Sunday. All right. I can be available.
Okay. Well, hey, I'll get in touch with you, and then see,
It's open
Friedman
year round.
Adventures,
Let's
man.
do it.
Bring that. I'll come out and film it. Am I doing anything Sunday? Saturday in Bass
You
Pro.
can film, and then I'll catch, and then I'll film, and then you catch.
Baby, now nobody
do
ever
that.
says that.
Let's do that.
Including my kids. They're like, "Film me, Dad."
Yeah.
All right. So hey, we got an offer here. Maybe we'll do that.
Yeah, definitely.
Turbo T2, whom I said, welcome. It's great to have you here. Came to the live stream from the Bruce Smith podcast. It's my favorite episode so far. Thank you for the wonderful content and smiles. Phil, thank you for throwing us $10. Thank you
appreciate that.
for your kind words, right? Thank you for being here tonight. Man, it means more to me than you guys will ever imagine. Thank you all. Tons of people watching. 46 likes now. He gets to go home if we get 100 likes. Otherwise, he's sleeping on the couch.
Sorry, babe.
Our green room, it looks pretty good now. We got things cleaned up. Got all the Mexico donations headed to Mexico, so we can actually breathe in here with the exception of the bassinet full of all kinds of stuff. Tim Marquez, another great guy. I know we're talking Daiwa, but my biggest reel is a Shimano Talica 220. What reel do you recommend for the next size up bigger BFT?
Okay. Not gonna lie, I'm not too familiar with the Shimano sizes.
Yeah.
I don't know how big a Talica is, but if you're looking for bigger bluefin, Saltiga lever drag 55 2-speed. That's our go-to. Lighter sinker rigs. Knife jigs. The big difference between that and the 60 is going to be line capacity. Other than that, they're the same reel. Just one holds more. I believe that the 55 holds 660 yards of. No, sorry. 55 holds 550 yards of 100-pound and 660 of 80, if I remember right. And then the 60 holds 550 of. I might be messing that up, but go with the 60.
We've been doing this for a while.
We've been doing it for a while, so I have so much information going on. So much. I'm just trying to figure it out. I should have brought a catalog to look it up real quick.
No problem.
But the 60 is definitely going to have a lot more. 45 pounds of drag at max. I think 33 pounds is at strike. So that's definitely going to be your go-to reel for those larger bluefin. You can do 80 pound or 100 pound, whichever one you like, or heavier. I know some people do 130. I've never used 130, so I'm not too sure what the big difference is between that.
All right, perfect. There you go, Tim. Anthony Malfitano, what's up, HBXL? My name's Anthony. Let's fish Point Furman Reef. I love fishing the reef, good fishing there. He lives in San Pedro. You guys can hook up. The Friedman Adventure family coming together tonight. Worm King Swim Baits, call. All right. Well, I'm doing a show right now, okay? His name is Fish. This is Fish.
It's
okay?
Fish. Okay.
I don't even know his real name. I told you that, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Fish. His first name is Fish. His last name is Fish. And he's a great guy. I love Fish. You're supposed to be here tonight. You're here every Tuesday night, but you're not going to be able to because only Patreon. Oh, you are a Patreon member. I guess he can show up. All right. All right. So I will give you a call. Anthony says, let's do a Daiwa charter. Bring some of the gear out so we can try it, please. Yeah, maybe you guys can send somebody out on one of our charters. Can you do that?
Maybe.
We'll work
I'll
something
have to figure out who to talk to. We'll start with Greg.
Greg, see what he says.
We'll start with Greg and work away from
Normally, Greg, when you say Phil Friedman, he'll go, oh, Jesus, can we do somebody else?
Right.
So hopefully he'll lie about who it is, and then maybe we'll do it. All right, Joe's back, and I think this is Joe's first night of being with us, or he's new to the podcast, so it's good to have him. I'm on a Daiwa charter. Get her done, guys. Yeah, Joe's right. We need to do that for sure.
We'll see what we can do. I know other companies do. I know I think E-Bike does their own charters as well. So I'm not too sure if Daiwa. I know we did one last year, but it was more of like a CCA tournament.
Oh, I know the trip because I was just going to mention it because my friend Andrew Deal was on it, and he said he had such a bitchin' time, and I think you guys raffled off a ton of stuff.
I think so.
You had a bunch of gear for everybody to use. He had an absolute ball.
Yeah, I was on the Fury.
Yeah,
that's the boat.
Yeah, Dana Wharf Sportfishing. Yeah, that sounded like an epic trip.
I think it was like a 2-day trip, right?
I think it was a 2-day trip, and he had so much fish that I got a key to his house because when he goes out of town, he'll say, hey, can you feed the dog and the chickens or whatever? And so he goes, just go in the house, man, and look in the refrigerator. Jeez, man, I mean, he had this huge sacks of fillets. So I loaded up, man. It was great. Man, I mean, do you anticipate, and I know this is outside of your area of expertise, it's out of everybody's expertise. Are you anticipating another big season in SoCal, or are you feeling it?
I'm
your
hoping,
gut. What's your gut telling you?
I'm hoping it's going to be a good year. I mean, I've been following the weather, and hopefully we do get that El Nino to push all those fish over here that we haven't seen in a minute. I mean, I would love to get some skipjack. I know they're small, but they are tasty.
You like eating skipjack? Most people do not.
Most people don't. I mean, you just have to take care of them. That's the thing.
How do you prepare them?
Well, the way that me and my father-in-law did it, he actually put it in the loins in the foil.
Yep.
Do
you cut the red meat out or not? Or do you go with it?
We went with it because the way that we prepare it, we put, it's going to sound weird, mayonnaise, mustard, salt, and pepper.
Yeah.
Fold it in, put it on the grill. It was hands down the best tuna I've had.
That sounds not weird at all.
You're not going to do that to bluefin. You don't want to do that to bluefin. But for skipjack, it was absolutely delicious. Throw in a little bit of lemon after, have it paired with some rice and some veggies. Delicious.
Wow, that sounds so good.
Yeah, no, it was really good. And that, I mean, I haven't had that since 2015 when the last, real El Nino that we had. So I'm excited. Hopefully that happens. I Haven't caught a yellowtail this year yet, so I'm hoping this year is going to be the year to get one of those guys. I know they're really elusive over here, so hopefully that El Nino pushes them in and we can get them.
Oh man, I'm looking forward to it, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, with that Dorado thing and we're going to get a change this year because we're going to have that El Nino. Now, normally the warm water would suggest that we're not going to catch any albacore because albies like cooler water.
Yeah.
My predictions have been horrible the last 2 years, as everybody out there will tell you. Don't go too hard on me. So I'm thinking, but I'm going to turn to my guy, Bob Osborne. He goes through all these statistics, pours over all the data, and still screws it up. But I'm going to let him do it. And then see, with an El Nino on the horizon, maybe he's got a similar type year, and we'll figure it out. But since it's going to be warm water, and I think they're probably not going to show up, I'll bet it's the best damn albacore year we'll ever see in our lives. Yeah.
I mean, well, we haven't had the albacore here in, 40 years?
No, it hasn't been that long. I think 2012 was a decent year, maybe. Okay year if I remember right. So it's been a while though. Yeah, it really has. You're gonna love those fish, man. They eat good. They're fun to catch.
Yeah, I watch a show. I forgot the name of it, but it's up in Washington.
Yeah,
and they go out.
Yeah,
and catch them.
Yes. Yeah, they get them up there. So hopefully it'll slide this way. Joe says if we do a Daiwa Friedman Adventures charter, he'll bring the smoked salmon from Monterey Bay. Joe,
all right, let's do it.
You're on it, man. Tim Marquez says. That's the way they prepared yellowtail in Laredo on the barbecue. They did the mustard, mayonnaise, and I've heard that if you use mayonnaise on fish, it just makes it so moist.
It was so good.
Yeah.
I haven't done that in a while to fish. My father-in-law does do it to trout too.
Yeah.
When I'll bring him trout, but he'll do the whole fish just like that. And it comes out good.
Yeah. That's like sarindillado. Have you ever heard of that cooking method? That's real popular in Sinaloa.
No, I haven't heard of that one.
Oh my God, it's the whole fish, and it just looks so appealing. It's got all these vegetables, and it's colorful in it. I was in Sinaloa. Oh my God, when I was in Sinaloa, I had just an amazing time, and the food was so good throughout that whole area. All right, Anthony Amalfitano, Daiwa Saltiga 40 LD 2-speed is a perfect upgrade from the Catalica 20.
Appreciate that input.
Yeah, there you go. Joe says we may see some albacore up in Northern California. Yeah, definitely been seeing them up there. That is for sure. Hopefully, we'll see them down this way, man.
Yeah.
I had some of my most fun years albacore fishing.
Yeah. I've never done it, so I have no idea what to even expect. But hopefully I can do it sometime.
My brother and I ran a commercial fishing boat out of Redondo. It was called the Thunderfish. And we would typically go to Tanner Bank.
Yeah.
But, we were sport fishermen too. So we'd put the radio on whatever the channel was for San Diego. I think it was 67. I can't remember. So we put it on that, and we're catching rockeye. And you're listening to these guys like, we had a double jig strike and got 10 bait fish. Yeah, I had a quadruple jig strike. We're still in this one, 50 plus on the bone. We're like, what the hell? Screw this. And we'd pull the rockeye gear in and run down there and, throw some albacore feathers out and have some fun. God, just those guys were torturing us listening to those guys like Eddie McEwen and Buzz Brizendine and all those guys. Alyssa is loving this episode. We need more ladies watching the show. Thank you so much.
That's my wife.
Oh, well, there you are. She's loving the show because you're on it.
Right?
Yes, absolutely. Thanks for joining us tonight. We really appreciate it. All right, Isaac, on the Proteus rods, do you go by the braid or mono rating? I get confused what the difference is. I know two different lines, but if it's the same test, didn't understand why they have a different rating.
Okay, I have gotten this question a lot. So most for the Proteus rods, they're all going to be generally in braid. Now this one does have a mono rating of 20 to 50 pound, but this is the heavy. But
does it have a braid rating on
it?
It
does have a braid rating of 55 to 100.
Oh, okay.
So it just pretty much the big difference is the diameter of the line. So on this one, you don't want to go heavier than 50 pound mono.
Yes.
That's running through the guides essentially.
Yeah.
Like you can have whatever you want on your leader line, but you don't want to go heavier than 50-pound mono on it. But if you go with braid, you can go up to 100-pound braid, no problem.
Excellent.
So the main thing is going to be you don't want that thick, gauge, line going through these guides and putting pressure on it. I mean, these are great guides. I believe they are Fuji titaniums.
So they're great guides.
Yeah. Great guides, but I mean, I always use braid, so you don't really have to worry about that. But again, I know some people do braid with a top shot of 80-pound or whatever they're fishing.
Yeah.
So it just all depends. Just you don't want to really go over that rating, but a majority of our Proteus rods do have a rating for both.
Yes.
I believe some of the lighter ones don't though.
Yeah.
So because that's when you're really going to be using braid for most of it.
Yeah, for the most part, that's what you're using,
Yeah.
braid, right? So they just have the braid rating.
Yeah, like I have a Proteus medium line. That one's strictly in braid, like 20 to 40 pound. So it's more of like maybe like a 15 to like 25 like rating for mono.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm going to be casting that, so I'm not really going to want to cast mono on it anyway, just straight braid.
Do you guys do day at the docks?
I think we did it last year.
Yeah?
I don't know if we're doing it this year.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, I can always ask.
Yeah.
Let
me know by and then I'll make it part of the promotion.
Yeah, that's down in San Diego, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I know who to talk to see.
Yeah. We always used our biggest problem with going to day at the docks was trying to get back from Mexico on time. My brother and I would run down there and then be late for day at the docks. All kinds of problems. Fish Guy, seconds. What your wife said. Alyssa says, great episode. Tim Marquez, thanks. Anthony Amalfitano. Those two guys are going to go fishing together. Now, Albert Ponce, great guy. Super good guy. I'm going to his son's birthday party after the Bass Pro thing. I don't know if Albert's coming to Bass Pro, and I'm probably too busy getting the party ready. But he says, hey guys, could you please clarify what is the difference between a conventional rod and a rail rod? Sorry for the dumb question. Albert, there is no such thing as a dumb question, even though Kristian was mumbling under his breath about it. But there's no such thing.
Just a little bit.
No, I'm kidding you. You know that.
So they're both going to be conventional rods. Both a rail rod and a conventional rod are both going to be conventionals. Essentially it's going to be like this is just your standard conventional rod. This is a Proteus. Now, technically you can make it into a rail rod if you put it on the rail, but a true rail rod for tuna is going to be this tuna special. So if you notice on this one, it has a much longer foregrip on it. So, I mean, you're looking at this compared to probably this was what it was on the other one.
Yes.
So you're going to have a lot more space here to put it on the rail and their butt section. That way you can put it underneath your arm and fight the fish. So that's going to be the major difference, at least with Daiwas, because this is meant for, putting on the rail. Now, this one does also have a gimbal option down here at the bottom. You can take this off and you can put it into a gimbal too.
Perfect.
But I wouldn't want to fight a 300-pounder with a gimbal. Like, no, thank you. I'm good with that. So that's going to be the real difference, is that your foregrip is going to be a lot longer on these ones for the rail.
Yes.
That way, you can still do it with these other Proteuses, but you're not going to be using it for big fish. I do it for rock fishing because I'm tired of holding it. I'll just put it up against the rail and just let it go.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be conventional only. You can't really have a rail rod for spinning gear at all.
Hit that like button one more time. If you have a question, get it in here because we are almost all through here. I can't believe that we're starting to move toward
fast.
2 hours here. But we are. Don't forget, there's a Grunion run tonight, and I will be checking on those little devils to see if they're doing something lascivious on tonight's beaches that ordinary human beings would get in trouble for, but Grunion get away with it.
Grunions can do it.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget Bass Pro Shops this Saturday. I'll be there 1 to 2:30. Looking forward to that. Hit that like button, and we deeply appreciate you being with us. Do you think we'll ever get over the stigma of spinning reels in Southern California? Because let's be reasonable here. Daiwa makes reels that you can easily take 100, 150-pound bluefin tuna with, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have the Saltiga spinning series that we have. Just came out with a 4,000, 5,000, and I believe 6,000 now for smaller. But I mean, The 20,000 Saltiga, I believe, has 66 pounds of drag.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
Yeah.
I was going to say
it has more
40.
drag. It has more drag than our 60 lever drag.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing, strong reel. It can handle easy, 150 pound, 200 pound bluefin. But when you start getting into that fight, though, it's going to be a little different because you can't put that on the rail.
That is, somebody's got to
yeah.
come up with a way to
Yeah,
there's got to be a way, right?
there has to be some type of way. But I mean, you have that. You have the Saltiga, the Certate SW. That one also is a great reel, a little bit cheaper than the Saltiga. This has a little bit less construction compared to the Saltiga, but both reels are great for using for poppers, and you can still do like a live bait. You're gonna be able to get further out than some other people
With a spinning reel.
With a spinning reel.
Absolutely, and
Yeah.
you can do that like immediately. If you bring a newcomer out, it takes about 5 minutes to instruct them how to do
Yeah.
that. Whereas with a conventional reel, it takes years to master
Yeah.
that.
I mean, I can do it, but I'm not the best at it. I still need a lot of practice. I mean, I ended up purchasing an MCAS 5000 bait runner originally for my wife. That way, if she ever wanted to go fishing, she can do that type of fishing with fly lining. I mean, during the summer, that's a big thing over here. We fly line for everything.
Yes, right.
But with that one, it's a spinning reel, so it's easier to cast, and two, has that double clutch, so it can go into free spool and not having to have the spool or the bail open. So it's essentially like a bait caster.
Yeah. Does your wife like to fish? Yeah.
So-so.
Okay. Like my
So-so,
wife.
yeah.
Mine's not even so.
No.
Yeah.
It depends. It depends.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Albert Ponce. So going back to my question, so it's the same blank, but just a different way of wrapping it?
So no. So the blanks are going to be different. So this one is meant for, again, 80 to unlimited is what we have it rated for. But I mean, this is going to be a different blank compared to the other Proteus I was showing you. This is a lot heavier duty. It's a bigger blank in general compared to that. So the railroads are going to be a little bit bigger, but the main difference is going to be the way that this handle is wrapped. That way you can put it on the rail.
Gotcha.
Versus this one. I mean, this is a pretty heavy duty construction in general. Like this right here compared to like the standard
Yeah,
shrink
it
tube.
feels like it,
Yeah,
man.
compared to like the shrink tube down here.
Yes.
There's a bigger difference. This
Yes.
is meant to take a beating up here.
I can see that.
That way, you can put it on the rail and not have to worry about it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Albert. I hope that helps you out there. Isaac says, great show. Dan Smith says, so Phil, you're going for snipe? I mean, grunion? Haha. Do you know what snipe hunting is? I bet a kid
No.
like you don't. So when we were kids, people would say, hey, you want to go snipe hunting? And they give you this bag. You go to the desert, and a snipe is this small bird, and you got to get them in the bag. It's a fictional BS,
Yeah.
thing. And some people think grunion are like snipe, that they really don't exist. Have you ever been to a grunion?
I've seen a grunion. It's
crazy, right?
It is absolutely nuts. I actually think it was at Seal Beach like years ago.
Yeah.
We were just strolling down, and all of a sudden, like I had my flashlight and I just saw things in the water. I was like, it's
What?
just everywhere.
Yeah, it's a marvel of nature.
Yeah,
it
definitely.
truly is. Which I've got to go see tonight. Another marvel of nature.
Just so you fall asleep.
No, I have. That's for the Friedman Adventure family. Dan Smith will be waiting up till midnight to hear whether or not I found snipe tonight. So I have to.
Now you have to stay up.
Yeah, no kidding. Isaac says, I think with poppers and stick baits, it's coming. So he's referring to spinning reels, and there's no question about it.
Yeah.
With stick baits and poppers, spinning reels work way better, right?
Way better. You can get a better cast out and further than everyone else. I mean, I'm planning on using a popper this year. Our Saltiga popper. I don't have it here. I don't have one yet. I'll get one soon. But for the Dorado last year, I wish I had one because they would have gone after it easily.
Yeah.
Easily would have gone after it because these Dorado. I mean, they grow so fast. I mean, some
Really
of the Dorado
fast.
were probably less than a year old
Right.
that we were catching.
Their lifespan is 4 at the most
Yeah.
most time like 2, and they get up to 70, 80 pounds. So you can see how voracious and an appetite they must have.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can literally measure them daily almost. They
Yeah.
grow so fast. You're right about that.
It's nuts.
It's crazy. All right, let's see. Fish Guy has an idea for a spinning rod rail. Okay, you'll have to come
right.
down and have lunch with Kristian and I and let us know. Chuck Zimmer, love you, Chuck. Have you ever fished with Gary Daiwa Warrior? That guy has taught me so much. I don't think I've ever met the guy, but I hear
haven't
nothing
either.
but great stuff about him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I think he was at PCS. I think one of my buddies ran into him, but I've never run into him or even fished with him yet. So we'll see. Hopefully in the future.
Blue Skies. The foam hand grip is about 18 inches, Albert. So there you go.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Great show. Real informative. Tim Marquez caught grunion run at Cabrillo Beach in the 70s. Let me think. Last year, we had some incredible grunion runs, man. Really crazy. My son Patrick was catching the grunion. So there's an open season and closed season. March is open, and you're allowed to take up to 30 of them. But, you know, I mean, what you have at your feet is an ample supply of live bait.
Yeah.
You bend over, toss it out.
Toss it
So
out.
Patrick was doing that, and he was frickin' hanging these big-ass yellowfin croaker. And he handed me one, and man, bitchin' fight. Really cool, catching these nice big yellowfin croaker, while Bob Osborne, another friend of mine, was over catching halibut.
Yeah.
I mean, you got all that stuff on the beach. There's going to be predators everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's a really incredible time to fish. And plus, most of the time, they show up on the dark of the moon too. But on those nights when you got that bright full moon,
yeah.
it's just extraordinary experience
exactly.
for sure. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to it, Tim. Joe says, thanks for the great intel, Kristian. Awesome show. Phil, looking forward to the next one. My parents used to pull that snipe crab on us kids. Thanks again. I know I got the same thing. Know what you're talking about, Joe. And you know, I used to pull all kinds of crap on my kids too. Albert or Blue Sky says, Albert, you'll need one for the bluefin tuna. We are moving up on 2 hours. I don't like to leave any questions up there. So right now we got a little bit of a break. It might be a good time to end. If any more questions pop up before we do, we will definitely answer. Does Daiwa have a website? Is there somewhere where people can go tonight or at any time to peruse and look at product?
Yeah, definitely. So our website here in the U.S. is daiwa.us. That is our only website here. There is some scam websites. We don't sell directly to consumers. The only thing we do sell on our website is our clothing. So you can purchase that, no problem. If you're able to purchase, you know, reels, rods, it's definitely not one of our websites.
Okay, that's great advice. So it's Daiwa.us.com?
No, just .us.
Daiwa.us.
Yeah.
Okay. And if they're selling rods and reels, that's not the right.
Not it has happened in the past. You know, unfortunately, I have talked to a lot of customers who, you know, there was a while back, there was Facebook ads, Instagram ads saying that we're closing out.
All BS.
All BS.
Yeah.
All complete BS. So, you know, don't trust any of those websites. Again, we don't sell directly to consumers besides our clothing line.
Okay, very good.
At least online.
Dan Smith, grunion is a great bait and good to eat. Man, oh man, what a great show. Thank you, Dan, for making it. Such Anthony Malfitano. What's up, Dan? What's up, Israel? Can't wait to crush it this year. Happy to see you guys on the channel. So are we. Hey, 2-hour show went like that, Kristian.
It really did.
Thanks for being here,
no
my
problem.
friend. I
Appreciate
really
the invite.
appreciate it. Once again, all my thoughts and prayers are with Jordan and his dad.
Definitely.
We're hoping he's good. Paul Burbank, Eddie Leland, anybody else who's out there was suffering and dealing with some insurmountable problem. Hang in there. You've got all our thoughts and prayers. But once again, it was great to have you here, and I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, definitely.
Chuck Zimmer, you guys should do a questionnaire for one of the rods. Oh, well, you're not ready to give away a rod. Those are your rods, right?
Yeah, those are my personal
We'll
rods,
do that
but
next time.
I'll try and figure something
Yeah,
out.
we'll do something. Like always, best show ever. We keep trying to get better, Albert. That's for sure. Joe says prayers for all. And Dan Smith, Anthony, great to see you, bro. Kim is going to use that gap this year. One more time. Kristian, it's a pleasure. I'm going to let you give that website one more time because I got to go over here since I'm the director and turn it off. So go for it, my friend.
Website for Daiwa is daiwa.us. Check it out. Give us a call. We'll help you guys out.
All right, great show. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you next time. Uh-oh, I almost got it, Kristian.
Almost.